You're listening to The Starting Block on TAVshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what.
Hey, welcome to the Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. It's the 2024 return. No one wants it. No one needed it. I don't know why we're here, to be fair, but we're going to do it anyway. We've got plenty of stuff to get through. We've got story time. We've got some Man of the People. We've got Dumbest Come of the Week. All that and much more here in the...
On the wings of my gonna stop me now.
It's Greeno here from the Starting Block. On behalf of the block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok, and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/the Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's loss is TAVshow.com's gain. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Starting Block for another week and another year! Got my man, he's trying to work out where the hell he's going to get his Aussie stubby holders, his Aussie flags, and his Aussie wife beaters. My co-captain Damon, how are we, sir?
Very good, Greeno. Yeah, Australia Day just around the corner, isn't it? Another couple of weeks till we have another day off. Is it a day off this time? Is it on a Saturday or a Sunday? We getting gypped?
Mate, it's a Friday. It's a
Friday.
block day.
Fuck it,
it's
Friday.
a block day.
Wow.
Yeah. Are we gonna start season 2 after that? We'll take
We're gonna take Australia Day off, do you think, to celebrate whatever the fuck we celebrate on Australia
I don't know
Day?
what we celebrate. We don't really celebrate anything, but
Lamb.
we
We
probably should take
celebrate.
a day.
I'll tell you what we celebrate, mate. We celebrate lamb and thongs and Southern Cross tattoos, Greeno.
100% Southern Cross tattoos.
And
The Aussie ball
wearing a flag as a cape. We celebrate that as well.
Flag as a cape. The Big Tang singlets, even though it's got nothing to do with Australia, but it seems Australian.
Bintang, that's right. Yeah, that's a good one. Because if you went to Bali, that's you celebrate Australia Day by letting everyone know that you went to a cheap knockoff shop in Bali to buy
can
local
tell
merch.
Any person who just got back from Bali in Australia by checking out who's wearing a Bintang singlet.
What else do? We engage in outrage on Twitter as to people calling it Invasion Day, Greeno.
Invasion Day, that's right. Change the date. I haven't. It's been a bit of a change of narrative this year because everyone's kind of angry at Woolworths for not stocking the cheap Aussie knockoff shit to celebrate Australia Day.
Really?
It's made in like cheap fucking Chinese parlors.
Right.
The irony of it all.
Yeah, to be right, I have heard less about the whole like kind of Invasion Day thing. I thought that was more or less a flow on from the referendum vote, and I thought
I think it might be. Yeah,
maybe people are like, you know what, we tried for this thing. Let's not push too much right now because I think people are still kind of in referendum mode. So we may be attracting unwanted attention to ourselves if we try to push too hard this time.
It's still a fortnight. They might be waiting until the final stretch,
That's
just
true.
kind of like just sitting back in a 400 for the first 200 meters.
Where do you sit on changing? Where do you sit on changing the day, Greeno, of Australia Day? Do you have an opinion either way, or?
I do have an opinion for as the completely Greeno way, selfish reasons.
Selfish, of course.
So the public holiday falls very close to my birthday, which is massively convenient, right?
Yeah.
Because it normally means Greeno gets a long weekend.
Yes, he does.
So for selfish reasons, I'm like, no, man, I got to live where it is.
Live where it is. It's tradition, bro.
It's tradition. I particularly don't care. Yeah. Now, I did see something.
It's a 40-year tradition. We can't let this slide.
We can't let this slide. Exactly. It's very inconvenient. Wait till after I die, then change it.
Yeah.
So I did see someone
wait another couple of months at least.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, if you're going to change the date, that's fine. I don't particularly care. Just as long as I get a public holiday, that's all I care. But January's a fucking banger, right?
It is.
You're in the middle of summer. We've just gone back to work. We've had about a month back, and then you're kind of like, I could use a day. And it's still like, I could enjoy. Like, once again, it's beers, it's festivities, it's thongs, it's Bintang singlets, it's barbecues.
Southern Cross tattoos.
Southern Cross tattoos, exactly.
Lamb chops, Greeno.
I think you referred to the slabs of the 30 cans of Tui's New as the blue briefcase.
Blue briefcase, Greeno.
Yeah. It's all about that. And once again, a previous one, you chuck it later in the year. Suddenly we've got a weather issue.
Yeah.
It's hot. Can't do barbecues. Is that really celebrating Australia?
No, that's of course not, Greeno. That would be un-Australian to to shamelessly use an overused phrase. It would be very un-Australian and be unpatriotic, Greeno. But I guess the other thing is, this is the opinion that I've always held, well, at least held for a while now. It's like, okay, so you want to change it, all right? Because January 26th is offensive because that's Invasion Day. That's when the first landings happened. And it's like, okay, so I always ask people, so what are you going to do with the people who continue to celebrate January 26th? What's the plan there? And they always go, what do you mean? And I said, well, just because you change the day doesn't mean that everyone's going to go along with it, right? Because it's such a divisive issue. There's
Imagine someone goes, hey, Christmas now. Yeah. Now in 3rd September.
Yeah, you're right. So you decide you want to change the date.
Turns out Jesus was born 3rd September.
Yeah, 25th of August. Now we're doing Christmas.
Yeah. We fucked up the number. We forgot to carry the one.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My bad. So you decide, like, so the government comes out and says, okay, we're changing Australia Day from January 26th to this other day. And we're not going to call it Australia Day anymore. We're going to call it, Unity Day or Diversity Day or whatever the fuck.
And don't they fucking dare. We've copyrighted that.
Oh, I
spoken illegal.
Yeah, no, they'd love to take our Unity Day away from us. Yeah. Because what government does is, kind of stomp around the world and look at free enterprise like us. Like we are actually pioneers, Greeno. They look at what people like us are doing and they go, that's a really good idea. Let's take it. Let's steal it. Yeah. But, they'll never have Eden Gahar's Garden of Eden. They'll never have JD Fortune playing with the Kenosha Kickers. They'll never have that vibe that we have. So good luck to them. But, let's say the government wants to change the date and they want to make it, August 25th or some other fucking random day. Okay, great. So what are you going to do with the people who continue to say January 26th is Australia Day? What's the plan there? And people always say, what do you mean? And I say, well, are you going to arrest them if they continue to celebrate on Australia Day? And they go, oh, no, don't be silly. And I'm like, so how can you stop people from celebrating Australia Day on January 26th unless you make it illegal? Oh, well, it's just offensive. And I'm like, well, what if people don't care if it's offensive? What if they say, I don't care what the government says. I'm going to go out with my Southern Cross tattoo and my flag as a cape and my bag of lamb chops, Greeno, and I'm going to head out in my Bing Tan singlet and go to the beach.
And my boardies are shorts.
Yeah, and what the fuck are you going to do about it? And it's like, you just get a blank stare. And I'm like, so what? So if that's the case, if you acknowledge that you can't really stop people from celebrating on January 26th, what's the difference? You don't have to, right? You're like, if you don't think it's January 26th, do it any other day you want then. But
celebrate another day.
Yeah, nice Gary. End of conversation.
End of conversation. I did hear. I think we talked about it in the show last year. The suggestion to change Australia Day to May 8th.
Why was that good? Yeah, I think I remember thinking that was actually a good day, like because it had some sense to it at least. Like
no, it had no sense, didn't it? It just because when you say it, it says mate.
Nice, Gary. That makes enough sense to me.
That makes enough sense. So if you can change that, then I heard basically conclusive checkmate, if you will, for this particular date. Turns out also Paddy Cummins' birthday.
Is it really? So Cummins cider. It coincides with Cummins cider's birthday, mate.
Mate, it's May 8th. Everyone's happy. But once again, shitty weather.
Shitty weather. What kind of weather do we have in May? Is that winter or is that
not quite winter? It's like late autumn, and it's still not fun.
Footy's going, Greeno. We could have a day of the footy for mate.
It's outside daylight savings though. That's not fun. I need more sunshine.
Gets dark early. No, just start your mate day early. Start getting on the cans at 5:30 a.m. Greeno.
8 a.m. Mate a.m.
Mate a.m. on the cans with the Bintang singlet, the Southern Cross tattoo. All right, the cape, flag, and a basket of lamb chops ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Fucking fixed it, mate. Well done. Yeah. Sensational.
We've been off for a few weeks, Damo. We've had a bit of a break, bit of a siesta, for no reason because we haven't earned it. We did fuck all shows last year, but we took a break anyway.
We didn't do many shows, but we did do, in fact, 73 seasons of the show last year.
100%, exactly. But I haven't done about you, but I haven't done much on the break. But last week I thought, look, time to get my head back in the game, time to get the new year started and get things kicking. And decided I've got this nice little gap where I don't have those annual bills you get. I don't know if you're a monthly payer or you're an annual bill payer. I'm personally an annual bill payer because I'm like, well, I'd rather pay that than pay the interest on paying a monthly bill.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because, but with the yearly bills, I always think, well, I don't want to lay out that much money in one hit. So I'd rather just pay a little bit every month.
You pay more. Because you've got to pay more for the fact that you're paying it.
Yeah, but see, with the annual bill pay, you always forget by the time it comes around to the annual bill paying time. It's like, I'm sweet. This is great. I'm keeping the extra $100 in my account every month. This is beautiful. And you get to the end of the year and it's $1,200 and you're like, what the fuck is this? I don't have $1,200. I've been spending $100 every month.
I'm the opposite. I'm more annoyed when I see $100 every month come out. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. I need $100.
See, I'm not like I sign up to that many fucking subscription things and whatnot every day. I'm like, shut up and take my money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's coming out of the account half the time.
So that's why your wife's in charge of the finances.
Well, more or less. Except for that.
Except for those ones.
Every now and then I'll get, for the odd things that I did sign up annually for, like I don't know, like a VPN service or something that I signed up a couple of years for because I wanted to watch a movie that was only available in America. And I was like, I'll just get this VPN so I can watch this movie for free on the internet. And, I sign up and it's like...
Really? You have to pay for the VPN, bro.
But I get some fucking deal and it'll be like, hey, we're going to give you 2 years for $12. How good's that? And I'm like, fucking hell, how good's that? Sign up, shut up and take my money.
Take my money. Yeah.
And then, 2024 rolls around and I have a bill for $180 US coming out of the account. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? And I end up looking for the invoice.
First 2 years, man.
Yeah, first 2 years. And now it's like, we're going to charge you, $90 a year. And it's like, fuck, I haven't even used it other than that first night.
So now it's a $180 movie.
Well, now I've got it for another.
The movie.
Now I've got it for another 2 years. I'm like, I better start watching more movies to make the most of this. Otherwise, this is just wasted money. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always forget by the time it comes rolling around.
It does happen. Oh, by the way, we get a whole bunch of invoices going into our account. The block thing. Yeah. I don't know if you're noticing that money disappearing. By the way.
Yeah. Do we have invoices going into the block account or coming out of the block account?
Well, we don't have a block account, as in the I get like an invoice every month to hey, this is you're getting charged for this. I'm not getting charged for it. I guess Damo is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be another one. Yeah, that's a monthly. I think it's like $20 a month or something like that. Isn't it?
That's a monthly right there.
Yeah, there or thereabouts. Yeah, that's just one of many that I have. I have a $4 a month subscription to an online service where I can post an image and it automatically crops out the background. And I maybe use it, 20 times a year or something, just for whatever reason. Like I upload the image, crops out the background, and I take it. And I rationalize it by it's easier than learning Photoshop. So $4 a month, I'll take. Yeah, that's a good laziness tax, I think, for 100% image creation. Yeah, no, sweet. Yeah. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah. So I've had this window. I got this small little window at the start of the year where there's none of these annual bills, right? Because I'm an annual bill payer because I don't like the monthly bills. It annoys me. I get frustrated by the bills. Yep. So I'm like, I just want to pay them once a year and don't think about them. I'll see you next year.
Okay.
So I'm like, look, while I've got this, I've had these bunch of jobs around the house that I had to avoid last year because I had to spend all my money on medical bills. So I'm like, well, this year, all that shit that I planned to do last year, I don't plan on getting sick this year.
Well, that's a good plan. That's good planning there, kids, if you're out there listening.
I don't plan on having multiple operations this year.
Plan number 1, save your money and pay your bills annually. Plan number 2, don't get sick.
Don't get sick. Yeah. So I'm like, if I do, I need to have spent this money already.
So you're broke by the time you need to pay it.
Well, not even that. I just need it done and out of the way. Because if I have to have a surgery, then it's like, well, now I can't afford this.
That's true. So get all your discretionary spending done early in the year.
Out of the way.
Yeah, and then you can be like, well, look.
I don't think about it.
Yeah, and then get the surgery and be like, tough titties, doctor. I can't afford it. Too bad. I guess
exactly.
Guess you're not making that's a funny thing. If you can't afford to get the surgery, then you've got a problem. But if you can't afford to pay the doctor's also got a problem because he won't be making a yacht payment that month, Greeno.
Exactly.
Yeah. So fuck him. Fuck him and his yacht. You go out, buy your yacht, then get sick.
Yeah.
You win.
That's not my problem.
Yeah.
Surgery's done. Too bad, mate. Yeah. You can't unrepair it.
Yeah. I can come in and wash dishes for a while, I guess.
We'll work it off.
Yeah.
So I had my little list. I had 3 things. And
test the drugs.
Me, man.
For you,
I like to make sure that I just get shit done as quickly as humanly possible. So straight away, bang, week 1, I'm like, I need these jobs done.
Ferrari.
So I got two quote requests out. Bang. Yep. Fucking, they're done. I need to know about this one. I need to know about this one. Tell me how much it costs. I actually really don't care what the quote comes back with. I'm going to sign up. Just get it fucking fixed. I just need you to give me a quote first, so you don't rock up and go, that's 12,000. No, fucking bro, that's too much.
Yeah.
Need no number, but I'm going to get it done regardless.
Okay.
Then the other one was I had all these the land has been sinking in my house, not in my house, but around my house.
What?
Before we moved in, it's just like residual, just residual kind of like the soil. Yeah, the soil's settled, and then because this used to be a rental property, no one gave a fuck. So it's been something that's been on our mind for a couple of years. And I'm like, when we step off the patio, it'd be nice if it was flat. Instead of like a meter down, that'd be great.
Honey, how come we can't see over the back fence anymore? What's that?
100%. Like we had a thing where I'm like, I can see under the house. Is that safe?
Am I shrinking or
should we be able to see under the house?
Yeah.
Probably not. Is there meant to be a hole underneath the driveway? I probably should fix that.
Yeah. That's a good place to sweep shit on the driveway though. Just sweep all the leaves into the hole.
Straight into the hole. That's what we did.
Nature's drain. Yeah.
100%. No need for a green bin. Just put it under my driveway.
Why don't we embrace sinkholes, Greeno? Like, you think about it. If we could come up with some kind of device that would recreate sinkholes, then we would have no need for on-land garbage dumps anymore, would we?
Fair call.
Just chuck it all in the sinkhole.
Chuck in the sinkhole, cover it. You're all good to
go. Get a bulldozer, just scoop it up and push it right in there.
Bit of Glen 20 on top, gets rid of the odor. You good?
Fucking done. Yeah. Throw a
Done.
little bit of
Fix it.
AstroTurf over the top of her. She's
Happy days.
sweet. Yeah.
Good to go.
That'll show them.
So Sinkhole went to realized there's a landscaping place near my joint.
Okay.
So I rocked up and I had a budget, had a number in my head. I'm like, I'm willing to pay this much for soil.
Oh,
Right.
landscaping. Before you get too deep into the story, can I just say, as someone who used to be somewhat like I did a little bit of a stint doing like delivering landscaping supplies and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And I think landscaping is one of those supplies that people always underestimate just how expensive it is, because so many times like I would get someone to sign an invoice. I'm like, I've dumped, a couple of tons of dirt or topsoil or something on their place.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, mate, sign here. And they go, what is this? How much is this? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the price. And they're like, that's fucking bullshit. It's dirt. I'm like, mate, it's, you paid for it.
I was working, man. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, man. Are you going to sign this or not? It was actually surprising to me how many people were like, whoa, how much do you want me to pay for fucking rocks?
Yeah.
It's just rocks, man. And this was 20 years ago. I can only imagine it's gotten worse now.
Well, here's the story, right? So I
a
get
story.
there.
I like stories about
this is all
pinatas.
story time. So I get there and I go up to the place and I'm like, look, I actually don't know how much I need.
Oh, that's a good start. His
I said,
dollar signs
I need-
roll around in his eyes when you say
Yeah,
something
that's
like that.
fine. So I said to the lady, I'm like, look, I've got this much, and by this much, I need that much. And she's like, look, I reckon half of this will do it. And I'm like, oh, well, I said, give me double that. Just
to be safe.
Just to be safe, give me double that. This is on Friday afternoon, okay?
Oh.
So I rock up, and it's Friday lunchtime. I rock up,
It's a
and I go,
rookie move right there, folks.
give me, no, trust me. Hear the story.
Yeah.
Give me double that. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. I need that. I'm like, if I got other spots I might need, will be sweet.
Yeah, because
So
you
she's
don't
like-
understand. My house is sinking, so I actually need
Exactly.
twice of what you're willing to give me. I don't need to just cover the area. I need volume as well.
Exactly.
Got to pack it in.
So the lady's like, all right, you sure? I'm like, yeah, double that. And can you get it delivered? She's like, yep, sweet. So I'm like, how much is it? And I had a number in my head. The number she gave me was 1/5 of what I thought I was going to have to pay.
Oh, really? It was the opposite.
So I'm like, how much? And she's like, X amount. I'm like, is that it? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, fucking yes, sign me up. I'm like, can I get that delivered?
Double it
And she's
again.
like, yeah. And I'm like, sweet. So go home, all good, happy days. The stuff gets delivered, gets to my front, seems like a fair bit. I spent last Friday afternoon spreading it where I thought I needed to spread it. Nowhere near enough. So the lady's like, oh, like you're only going to need this much. And I'm like, turns out I needed a fair bit more.
Right.
So go back on the Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I was here yesterday. And I don't know how much the lady fucking told me to get. She said this term. And they're like, huh? And I'm like, it cost this much
Cubic
money.
meter or something like that.
Yeah. She's like, I said, it cost me this much money of this particular product. How much is that? And she's like, oh, that's this much. I'm like, I need 4 times that. She's like, what? That's like, I need 4 times that. She's
Are
like,
you starting a hobby farm?
she's like, that's a lot of soil, sir. And I'm like, she's like, you must have a big place. I'm like, yeah, I got a big place.
Yeah, it's
Fucking-
sinking. Yeah.
It's sinking. I need a lot. And she's like, but that's like, you realize you're only meant to put like X amount on. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I got a fucking big backyard. Trust me, I need that much.
Okay.
Then it got delivered. And I'm like, that's a fucking lot of soil.
You're just standing there with your. I reckon there's no, pardon the pun, no more sinking feeling than having a big pile of fucking dirt show up in a truck. So it was loaded by an excavator or a bulldozer that picks it up and throws it in the back of the truck. Then it arrives in the truck and the truck dumps it. You can put a tarp down or something. You go, yeah, where do you want it, mate? And you put a little tarp down for yourself or something and go, yeah, just on top of that, mate, she'll be right. Or a bit of drop sheet or something. And then when the truck drives away, that is the worst feeling in the world, standing there with your fucking shovel and just a big pile of dirt that has to move. Like once the dirt is on the driveway, there's no
I've got
kind
no
of
option but to
procrastinating.
finish
Like,
it. Yeah.
you have to action this
Now-
item right now, otherwise this pile of dirt is going to be here forever.
To answer
just become
your,
an ant's nest.
to answer your question of how much soil I end up purchasing over that 2-day span, 1 ton of soil. I
Yeah, right.
purchased.
Yeah, ton's not that much.
It was
Only
a fair
a
bit.
little truck, little 1 tonner. fucking drop a ton off. A ute could do that.
Well, a ton. It was 1 ton. Yeah, 1 ton.
There you go.
It was a fair bit. But the thing is, I don't own a wheelbarrow.
Oh.
So I had to
Buckets.
shift. I had to shift 1 ton of soil in 1 day
By shovel only.
by shovel and a bucket.
Oh man.
So
See, I'd be out buying a fucking wheelbarrow first thing in the morning. Like, we're not doing this.
I'm space conscious, and I'm like, look, it means that I have to do the gym today. This works out okay.
No, that's not okay, man. That's not okay.
So I worked it out. I end up doing 15 kilometers of walking in my backyard whilst carrying about a 20-kilo bucket.
Over and over and over and over.
The entire time, over and over and over. And you're right about the whole, like, once it's on there, it's got to move. The wife was like, you look like you're about to pass out. I'm like, I'm not leaving until that soil is off our front yard and the pile has disappeared.
I guess the positive to this story is if you ever happen to be doing safari in Africa at one point during your retirement, and you see some African ladies bitching about the fact that they had to walk 15 kilometers with a bucket of water to get back to the village. It's like, well, look, I've got a fucking story for you.
I got a story for you.
I did it for dirt.
Check out the block on 12th of the 1st. Good episode.
I carried dirt around in a bucket for 15 kilometers. You live in dirt. You've got dirt everywhere.
It's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Couldn't eat the dirt. So the lady at the counter said, got it all done. I got it finished by the end of the day, and it was all happy days. Yeah. Exhausted by the end of it, but I physically couldn't move. So sore, like almost felt the need to pay for a massage. Like my back was just fucked, like completely destroyed. I know you got a bad back.
Yeah.
This was just like not as bad as what you experienced in any way, shape, or form, because yours was more like nerves and like bones and shit. Yeah. This was just fucking like muscles collapsing on site onto the bones. No fucking good.
I also know that feeling. It's a little different to, like you said, the spine pressing against the spinal cord and sharp stabbing pains. But
billion times worse than what I was experiencing.
But it's still that muscle pain is really hard to get rid of, because it's only when you have a bad back that you realize how much you actually use it. Your back is basically everything. Like that's why 100%. I guess that's why, if you hurt your spine, you can't fucking walk. Like, so just doing everything, you need back muscles. You need, something holding you up. And at that kind of muscle pain, man, 15, how many hours did this take, by the way?
It was 9 hours of non-stop. I stopped for like I stopped for like 3-minute little breaks.
Yeah, to have like a little feed or a bit of water.
A little water. I quickly checked the cricket score and then would like, all right, back to it. Like, because my theory is the longer break I take, the longer it's going to take me. So I don't like taking breaks. I'm like, let's just fucking get this done and I'll die at the end.
It's also harder to restart after a long break as well.
Oh, that's what happened. I had to stop for like actual, like I need to have food at some point. So I stopped for about 20 minutes to have a sandwich and that. And I was like, to get back up off my seat, I'm like, oh, this is not good. I just need to go. I need to get to the finish line here. We're good to go.
And so suddenly your New Year's resolution of avoiding surgery in the future takes a diminishing return, Greeno, on day one. Yeah.
That may explain this lump on my chest. Nice, Gary. I don't know what that was. I've been poking that all week.
Not another hernia. So, Greeno, how are you recovering from your hernia surgery? Yeah, good, doc. I spent 9 hours on Sunday walking around 15 kilometers carrying buckets of dirt. You fucking did what? Let me book you into the hospital right now. Okay.
Double.
Yeah.
My word. You're right. Until you pointed that out, I'm like, that was pretty fucking stupid.
That was really stupid, yeah.
Got it done then.
Yeah, got it done. Yeah. At what cost?
What cost?
At least you spent the hospital money on dirt, Greeno.
Exactly.
Nice, Gary. Thinking else or otherwise.
Yes, it doesn't matter. My takeaway from the first part of it was, one, I understand why all landscapers are tanned and jacked.
Yeah, they are tanned and jacked.
Because I was pretty tanned afterwards, but I was wearing a hat. I was trying to be sun smart, which means I now had tan lines around where my hat goes, which is a bit awkward.
Yeah. Did you get that white sweat band on the hat as well? The one that soaks right through to the front?
Yeah.
That's good.
But I was wearing my work hat, so it's all good.
Okay.
Second thing I learned is any money that a landscaper charges you, worth every cent.
Pay it. Yeah. Shut up and pay it. Yeah.
Like that one day, like I like doing things the first time myself. Like I built a shed. It took me 3 weeks and I was in agony after it. And it was just a fucking nightmare. And I'm like, I'm satisfied. I'm glad I did that. But I'm never doing that again.
Well, to be
Similar
fair,
to this.
that job probably would have taken a landscaper about an hour because
Oh, 'cause they would have tools.
they wouldn't have done it with a fucking bucket and shovel, mate. Okay.
And walks
One
into
guy
the
with a bucket shows up.
And
Imagine if you hired a landscaping company. Can you take care of this for me? Yeah. And one fella rocks up with a bucket and a shovel.
Literally, my neighbours, I got new neighbours across the road,
Yeah.
and they were looking, going, "Is this?" I saw them come
Is
out.
this guy for real? Yeah.
They had friends come over. They saw me fucking like shoveling, putting a bucket, walk in the back. When the friends arrived, they spent all day together hanging.
Yeah. Out
They
front.
came out, they looked, and they're like, "This fucker is still going," and laughing at me. I could see them, and they're like, "My word, this guy, he's earned his beer at the end of the day."
Yeah.
Bucket
Bucket and shovel to move 1 ton of dirt.
1 ton of soil.
You're a sick
And
fucking man,
we're-
Greeno.
I don't like being beaten. But the lady, and speaking of that, the lady at the soil place was like, "That's too much. You can only put like 1 centimeter of soil, otherwise the grass is gonna fucking die."
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I hear. And then I proceeded to put like 8 centimeters of soil above where the grass was.
Hoping to kill it so I never have to soil it again.
To start again. However, it then became a mission. Because I'm like, well, fucking, what does that lady know? I know she works at a landscaping place. What would she know about what this was? Nice, okay? So the wife has already yelled at me the night before.
She didn't know how much I needed, so clearly she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing, does she?
So the wife has already yelled at me the night before and said, "Look, you're a fucking idiot. Like,
It's
it's going
too
to kill
much
all your
dirt.
grass.
Yeah.
That's too much, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "No, trust me. I've got this. Like, I'm all over it." So it's been now my mission for this week
Pick the
to
dirt back up
ensure
again.
that the grass is spurting through the dirt that I've just spent all day thing.
Okay.
So I have literally this week been watching grass grow. I shit you not. I've been out there every morning going, "There's a little seedling, there's a little thing sprouting through, there's fucking another one." I've been out there watering dirt, sir. It's been my passion. And good news,
Yeah.
25% already broken through.
There you go. Nice, Gary. I thought you were leaning towards some kind of money saving scheme here.
This is a money saving scheme.
I'll buy a ton of dirt to cover the grass so it kills the grass and then turns into dirt, and I'll never have to pay for dirt ever again.
Yeah, that could work. This one was a money saving scheme in the essence of like the option, because I said to the lady, I said, "Oh, if I don't put soil down, what can I do?" She's like, "You can buy new grass to go on top of the existing." I'm like, "How much does that cost?" And it was 12 times what the soil was.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
like,
fucking cheap.
I'll sit there and fucking water the dirt. I'll get this grass to go through. Trust me.
I'll get out there with a rake and spread it around when I have to.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm watering dirt 3 times a day just to prove my point.
I'm turning it into mud.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking fantastic. Nice
Definitely,
story.
yeah.
Well
I
done.
like stories about pinatas.
Brilliant.
Had another little story, if I can, very quickly. It's a quick one.
Please. Yeah.
I like stories about pinatas.
We look, let's be honest, me and you, we're not people that like to take advice. Would I be correct in saying that? We generally like to solve our own problems.
Yeah. No, that's not true for me. I take plenty of advice. My problem is I don't generally listen to it.
Listen to it. That's my point.
I'm
yeah.
open to advice.
No, I'm open
tell
to
me
advice.
what you
I'm talking
think.
about- yeah.
Tell me what you think,
Yeah.
and then I'll sit back and I'll contemplate and go, I like my idea better.
No, that's kind of my point. Sorry. Yeah, that was kind of where I was going. Like, I'll listen to advice too, but ultimately I'm just going to do this
I'm just
instead.
going to do it my way. But thanks. I appreciate the thoughts, though. That's good. Yeah.
So I was at the point where I was like, okay, sweet, money-wise, we're all good. We're in a nice little position here. I've already paid for the fucking way too much soil than I thought I was going to get. Yeah. We've already moved it.
We've already blown
Wake
the
up.
hospital budget. We're good.
Already blown the hospital budgets. We're all good. We got quotes out for another 2 things. Once again, those 2 fuckers haven't called me back, by the way. No one can take my money. It's very frustrating. Yep. I'm trying to give people my money. No one's taking it. Get up in the morning, turn on my coffee machine. Doesn't work. This wasn't in Greeno's brain. This wasn't part of the budget.
No.
What do you mean the coffee machine's broken? I'm like, all right, maybe it's just the power board. What I'll do is I'll fucking fix power board. What I'll do is I'll put something else in the power board, make sure that works. Maybe the board is wrong. Maybe the power point. I'll check the circuit breaker, all that. No, everything's sweet. I'm like, fuck me.
The
coffee machine's broken.
fucked.
It's broken. Fuck me. This is
brand new whiz bang coffee machine, is it not?
6 months old, but still inside warranty, which is fine. I was just like, well, now I've got to take it back and get it like replaced.
Now I've got to have fucking Nescafe. Ooh.
I had to have my first fucking instant coffee in 9 years the other day.
God, how was it?
Well, it was all right. Actually, I like really good coffee, but I'm not a coffee snob.
Okay.
If it makes sense. Like I like a really good coffee, and that's why I bought a coffee machine. But if someone goes, here's an instant coffee, like back in the day, we used to drink instant coffee like 9 cups a day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fire up to be out all night. Yeah. So I'm like, it's fine. I prefer this.
I was a night shift worker. For me, fancy coffee was 7-Eleven, Greeno. You know,
100%.
If I went to the truck yard or something at 2 a.m. and they didn't, where's the fucking Makona, mate? You know, this is bullshit. I'm going to have to get one of those $1 cups from 7-Eleven. And
the fancy coffee for me was the little machine at Panthers at 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
That you could press a little button and it was like, it basically just filtered instant coffee.
Yeah.
But it seemed fancy.
Yeah. Filtered all the taste out of it. That's good.
Yeah, 100%. I was like, oh, this is fucking fancy.
Yeah, this is
instant coffee.
Hot dirt water. This is beautiful stuff. Yeah.
Kept me awake for another couple of hours to get the boys home. That's all that mattered.
So
I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, fucking this is a pain in the ass. And I'm like, look, before I take this machine back, I feel like I've tried everything. But I'm going to do what you need to do. You can Google this machine. This is happening. What's the solution? Yeah. Just to be safe,
Fix
right?
it
Before I take it back.
Call the girl who works at the landscaping place and see what she thinks.
I could have called her, and what does she know? Fucking, I've already gotten grass sprouting through. She said it was all die. Yeah. No idea. No. So I'm like, I Google it, and literally there's one suggestion. That was it. Check that the plug is fully in. No. I'm like, that is all you have for my advice, DeLonghi? Check that the plug is fully in? Are you fucking kidding me?
Was this the official manufacturer?
That was the official manufacturer website. The machine does not turn on. What do you recommend? I thought maybe it was like a default. Maybe the water had overflowed. Maybe
like hold this button and this button to reset the fucking mechanism.
Reset it.
Shit,
maybe this is empty. You need to check this, etc. No. The only thing, make sure the plug is all the way in. I'm like, this is fucking.
Because I was going to say there is a whole industry out there of fake fix-it guides. I don't know if you've noticed this. It's a little story within a story. But little things like how do I get this program to work? And I think they all come out of China or India or something. And basically it's just bullshit advice. And it's like that, you Google, how can I get my coffee machine to work? And it'll be helpfulguides.india.com, and you'll go and it's just all ads. It's all pop-ups. And you're like, okay, where's the advice? You got to scroll 3/4 of the way down the page and it'll be something like that. Coffee machines are great gift ideas for friends and family. Check this link for 15% off on your next coffee machine. Now, if you are having trouble with your coffee machine and not getting your morning burst like you expect every day, there are some helpful tips and tricks that you can use in this very guide. Also, if you're interested in guides, go to this website. Now, the coffee machine, make sure it's plugged all the way in. This is very important. Thank you for reading this guide. And you get to the end of it and what the fuck did I get out of this?
What was that? Nothing.
This isn't helpful at all.
Fucking idiot. What the fuck is this shit?
But this is different. This is actually DeLonghi.
This was DeLonghi's fucking official website. The machine's not turning on. Check that it's plugged in. I'm like, fucking, I'm wasting my time here. You fucking idiots. Don't waste my time with this shit. Went to the coffee machine. Turns out cord wasn't plugged all the way in.
I like stories about pinatas.
Oh my God, you
dick. I'm like, what the oh my God. And so I went back.
This must be such a common problem then.
I went to my team meeting afterwards. How's everyone's day off? And I'm like, here's a quick. So I did a story time in my team meeting.
Oh, okay. Trying out the material on someone else.
I was trying out material. And I'm like, this is what happened. Yeah. Check out this fucking idiot. I'm apparently in charge of you guys.
Now I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, from a product quality standpoint, if I'm like an engineer and a product designer at DeLonghi and I discover that there is an overwhelming amount of people who are calling our helpline saying my coffee machine's not working,
turn on.
and we discover that it's simply because the plug is not plugged all the way in. Would you at any time, internalize this feedback and say to yourself, now, is there something that we can do different with the plug? Because other products don't have this problem, right?
Yeah. It's a crazy notion. Remember the old school where the plug in the back of the machine was just attached to the machine instead of being inside a plug?
Yes.
That would have resolved this situation.
Yeah.
Because what happened, because I realized in retrospect, I'm like, well, how the fuck did this happen? I realized what happened because the water function that you fill up in the back is right where the cord is.
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's put the water tank right next to the electricity. That's a good idea. Good stuff, DeLonghi.
So you kind of, what you're doing is you're putting the water thing in blind and you're just feeling around.
So we're feeling around with an electrical plug next to the water supply.
Exactly.
Now, DeLonghi's engineering department needs to have a good, long, hard look at themselves, Greeno. This is more troubling than we first knew about, obviously. It's not just a loose plug. It's loose because you have to feel your way around the water tank when you're putting it in.
The water tank when you're putting it back in. It's very much like... It's very much like a teenager.
How much did you pay for this fucking suicide machine, Greeno?
More than the soil, sir. More than the soil.
More than the soil.
Nice, Gary. Good news is my coffee machine's fixed. Would have been very embarrassed if I rocked up to the place that I bought it from with, hey, this is fucking broken. I want my money back. And turns out I just hadn't had the plug in properly.
Yeah, well, got it sorted in the end. That's amazing.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later, Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week. So check it out.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Campy old movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. When we were kids and there wasn't any school, we'd sit and watch all the best cartoons, eating cereal until it was noon. We never thought that 30 years later it'd still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us boobies. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy.
Now with less than 3% sport content. It's the starting block on TAVShow.com.
Yes, welcome back to the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Since it is the new season and a new year, and there's new adventures ahead. In 2024, Greeno, of course, you'll know this because you've recently got involved in politics, that the presidential election is coming up, Greeno, in 2024. And it's a big, interesting time, a lot of fun, Greeno. It's not as fun as it used to be back in 2016, around that time, but it's fun for different reasons.
Seems like a bit of a circus, to be fair,
well,
sir.
I wouldn't say it's a bit of a circus now. I'd say it's more of a circus now.
Yeah,
you've got Joe Biden, stuttering Joe shitting himself and doing God knows what. Barely knows he's alive half the time. And you've got Trump kind of throwing grenades in from the sidelines to get back in the ring again. And you've got your mate, the Indian fella, Greeno. What was his name? Shavas Sastry or Ravi Rastri or
Vivek something or other, wasn't it?
Vivek something or other. Yeah, that sounds something or other Street. He's going great. Nice, Gary. And you sent this through the other day, Greeno, to the show, which I thought was very nice, by Royce Lopez of ROTC. New election shirt, Trump or I don't know, that Indian guy, 2024.
Nice, Gary. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Like support.
I think that's
once
perfect.
Again. It's 100% perfect because it sums up why politics is just fucking broken, has been forever. Because it's fucking like we pick a team and we cheer for the team.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? You're wrong. Like, just fucking do better.
Jim Edward in the chat. I don't know, that Indian guy.
No, that Indian guy.
Exactly. That should be his slogan. Vote for I don't know, that Indian guy.
That Indian guy. Yeah. 100%.
Fucking.
I'd vote for that Indian guy because he seems like a bit of a loose cannon, but in a good way.
Yeah, good loose cannon. A firm loose cannon, Greeno.
A firm loose cannon. Yeah, very impressed with his work. But once again, like the loose cannons in Australia are a little bit different to the loose cannons in America.
We could. I wish we could Americanize our politics just a touch, just a smidgen. I'd like to see a bit more enthusiasm, Greeno. I'd like to see a bit more of a loose cannon run. Most of them are pussies here, you know.
That's me. Like our loose cannons are the people that are literally just batshit crazy.
Don't give a fuck, yeah.
Yeah, not in a good way. Like, I need someone who's just like, well, this is all fucking like what we do on our show. Yeah. Like, this is all very stupid. Yes. Like, what we are currently doing here, let's fix it.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like, let's be better. What can we do?
Yeah.
No one does that because everyone's, a little bit of a.
Well, it's just all about,
It's the system, isn't it?
You want to make little change. Like I was thinking about the vape ban that they're bringing in next year.
Bringing a vape ban? What's going on there?
Oh, fuck.
I'm trying to get people on the vapes off the because ciggies. There's more tax on the ciggies, right?
There's definitely more tax on the ciggies. It's a juicy little situation because
as a former smoker, I saw recently because I don't really pay much attention obviously anymore. I haven't bought a pack of smokes in fucking 12 years. But I saw as someone was packing the shelf at my local convenience store the other day. I'm like, is that how much the fucking cigarettes cost?
Oh yeah. More than dirt. Definitely more than dirt.
I could have bought 3 tons of dirt for what I used to smoke in a week.
Yeah.
It was insane. The price. Like, I could grow my own tobacco for cheaper than that. I 100% guarantee it.
Yep.
I was like, look, I'm glad I quit when I did because I can't afford that shit.
Yeah. I stopped smoking tailor-made cigarettes a long time ago. I was buying tobacco and rolling my own.
Yeah.
For maybe, 10 years or so. But when I stopped smoking tailor-mades, 10 years ago, they were $50 a packet. So I can only imagine what they are now. It must be something grotesque.
I think for a 20 pack, I saw
pack would probably be about $30. $50 for 20.
It was $50, yeah. So I used to be a 30 pack. I used to be a 30 pack a day, man.
Peter Jackson, I remember.
Yeah, PJ's 30 pack.
Yeah.
And I used to
was it PJ Blues? Was that yours?
PJ Blues, yeah, 8 milligram, and you'd go. I just get a carton a week. And there's a week. It was like 10 packs.
You were a PJ. It was funny. All of our group of friends, we all had different cigarettes. So I was a Winnie Red. Or a Winnie Blue,
which is like a rough smoke. The Winnie Reds.
Well, Winfield Blues are considered like the Westie smoke, like the.
They were 12s, weren't they?
They're like they're 12s. Yeah, they're like the VB of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Whereas the Winnie Red is like the fucking Resh's Rio of cigarettes. Like it's even rougher than.
You'd have one Winnie Red for one of my one Winnie Red for about 5 of my PJ Blues.
That's right. So basically, it broke down like this: the younger, the kind of nightclub crowd, they would smoke Winnie Golds, which were 8 milligrams.
No, they were 2 milligrams.
No. Trust me, Winnie Golds were 8. I think the 2 milligrams were silvers. But I never really saw 2 milligrams.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Winnie Gold's definitely 8 milligram. So that would be like your nightclubbers with your your glow sticks and that kind of crowd. The Eki crowd would take smoke Winnie Golds.
Here we go. So we got Winnie Red 16 mil.
16 milligrams.
16 milligram. Winnie Blue 12 milligram. You're right. Winnie Gold 8 milligram. I apologise. Here's a sorry book.
Yep. See the storybook. Yeah. Should know these things.
No, I forgot. I realised I was confusing it with Winnie Whites.
Winnie Whites, yeah, right.
Which is the 1 milligram.
Yeah.
Then you had the winning grey. When people were trying to quit, remember people would go down to the winning greys,
which were
with 4 milligram.
4. So that's what I was
like,
thinking of silver. That's great.
Yeah. So I was like, look, I'm giving up. I've cut back to winning greys at 4 milligram.
Winnie Greys. Why even bother? What's the point?
Exactly. And then people would rock up with Winnie Whites, and they were your show pony, fake smoker crowd at the nightclub. Where you're like, Winnie Whites or menthols. If you can rock up with a menthol, go fuck yourself. Walk away.
Oh God, menthols are awful.
Don't even pretend.
Yeah. So no, Winnie Golds are definitely like the Eki crowd at the nightclubs. Winnie Blues were like your blue collar worker types. You know, your guys who work in landscaping. Greeno, they'd smoke Winnie Blues. Winnie Reds were like the granddad smoke, right? Yeah. It was the 60. Yeah, that's right. It was the 65-year-old guy with a face made out of leather. Who looks 90 at the pub. He would smoke Winnie Reds, and that was the smoke that I smoked when I was young. Yeah. So, so there you go, Winnie Reds, and they were. I think I actually started Winnie Reds. Got a little story time for you.
I like stories about pinatas.
I think Winnie Reds became my smoke because my first regular supply of Winnie Reds was when I was sleeping over at your house and we'd steal them from your dad's pack. Do you remember that?
Yeah, my man.
When your dad was smoking, I would nick a couple of his fags when they went to bed.
They were Winnie Reds, that's right. Yeah, because he used to, when he smoked, he's like, we're not fucking around here. If we're going to do it, we're doing it properly.
Hi, big fella, by the way. Thanks for listening. Just so you know.
It was Winnie Reds. Winnie Reds in the thing. And then once
used to hide them on top of the fridge, if I'm not mistaken.
On top of the fridge, but it's no good when your son's best mate is 6'4" at like 12 years of age. It doesn't help.
When your son's best mate at 12 is 6 foot and can easily reach up on top of the freezer, then that's not a foolproof plan for hiding the cigarettes, is it?
But yeah, Winnie Reds, that's what he used to smoke. And then he cut down to Winnie. I think he got down to Winnie Blues when he was trying to quit.
Yeah.
Once again, it was always a wean down. Like, I would just cut down the milligrams. Didn't work. Still fucking cigarettes. So
that's right. So what worked for me is I gave up. Oh God, 4 months ago now, something like that.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah.
But I switched to I committed to just doing vapes. That's like I'm just going to do vapes. And I brought in some nicotine before the nicotine ban. I imported some, and I just add it to like the flavored juice that you can buy. Yeah. So they banned the importation of nicotine, so you can no longer do that anymore. You have to get a script. You have to go and sit in front of. You have to go and sit in front of some fucking pretentious doctor and explain to them how you're trying to quit. Like, this is how demeaning this fucking stupid country is sometimes.
Just make it illegal then. Just don't fucking allow people to buy it.
It's none of your fucking business if I want it or not, honestly. It's really not. I didn't ask you to protect me from anything, so go fuck yourself. If I want to have nicotine, by the way, nicotine's not really that bad for you. It's all the tar and chemicals and shit that they put in cigarettes. That's what fucks you up. Nicotine, in isolation, is really not that bad. It's a mild sedative and nothing more. So anyway, if I want it, fuck you. Who are you to stop me? But so they banned that. And I'm like, well, I ordered some. I've got probably another year's supply here. That was the most that you could get at any time, I think. So I don't use that much. I use fuck all, so it lasts a long time. And I'll put that in the fridge. I'm like, well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Maybe a new government will come in and they'll unban it. Like that's just as likely, right?
That's optimistic.
Yeah, that's true. Because once we ban things in this country, they tend to stay banned. I think we ban more shit in this country than the most fundamentalist. We turn it. It's funny. Our media will criticize, fundamentalist Islam over, in the Saudi Arabia, and they're like, "Can you believe they don't let women drive cars?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but they let them smoke wherever the fuck they want."
Yeah, go nuts. They buy as much as they want.
Yeah, if we can trade that, I'll be like, sorry, ladies, got to hand your license in, and now I'm going to puff away. Thank you very much. Now there's half the traffic on the road, and I can smoke in the middle of the hospital. Like, what a fucking... It sounds like Wonderland over there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
By comparison. So they banned the nicotine, so I could no longer bring that in, and I'm like, well, at least I've still got my little supply here, and I can just add it to the flavored juices. And then the latest cocksucker politician comes out trying to make a big name for himself and says, you know what, we're going to ban all that too. We're going to ban the flavored juices because Greeno, it's making the children take up smoking. Children have been smoking something or anything since the dawn of fucking time, you half-wit.
I'll find a way.
Vape juice is not convincing more children to smoke, okay?
Because they're going to buy the vape, they're going to go buy the thing, they're going to buy the nicotine, they're going to buy the juice. It's a lot of fucking effort.
So
they're going to smoke anyway.
Here's the delicious part about all this. This is the best part. One of this guy's longtime professional acquaintances, dare I say, friends, Greeno. The new rules that are coming in is you will only be allowed to buy nicotine. You'll get this. You'll only be allowed to buy nicotine vapes from a pharmacy, right? And you'll have to have some kind of script or something for it. Now, they are only going to let one company sell this nicotine vape stuff from a pharmacy. They're banning all flavors, so you can't even have that's part of the fun of it for like a guy like me. It's like, well, tobacco, yeah, okay. I mostly vape tobacco type flavors, but you can get like something that tastes like Coca-Cola or Apple or something. It's a little bit different. It's like, yeah, whatever. That's fun. So they're banning all the flavors. We're only going to let you have tobacco flavored vapes, and you'll only be able to get it from a pharmacy. And the only company that makes this stuff, guess whose longtime professional acquaintance / friend, Greeno, of this politician. Guess which company he happens to help run. Can you imagine? Can you take a wild guess at what company this guy works for?
No idea.
It's the vape company. Hey! Hey? So the politician who announces that we're banning all vapes except for this one kind of vape that you'll only be able to get from a pharmacy with a script. And there's only one company that makes this kind of vapes. By the way, here's my bro. He runs this company. Fucking this place... This country is a fucking joke. Right? There's a lot of good things about Australia, but there's also, and I've said it for so many years since we're talking about politics, our greatest cultural thing that we have going for us is also our most, it's also the worst thing we have going for us. And that's the fact that we're so laid back here.
Yeah.
We are so laid back that makes us really easy to get along with, and everyone's friendly most of the time. And hey, what are you going to do? It's not a lot of stress and outrage that you see in other parts of the world, not to the same extent. Mm-hmm. But it also means that the politicians can just fuck you blind and they will continue screwing you over and over and over again. And you'll never do anything enough to an Australian population to get them angry enough to do anything about it. Because we'll all just go, well, what are you going to do? It's too fucking hot to protest today. I'm just going to go out with my bintang singlet and my lamb chops.
We did find something during the pandemic where they were trying to limit the amount of cases of beer you could purchase.
It's a very good point.
I think the entire country was like, no.
Not having it. Not having that, mate.
And they pulled back from that very quickly. You're like, look, two rolls of toilet paper is fine. However, as many cases as you want, go nuts.
I can't leave the house. I need 3 cases of beer a day minimum.
Exactly.
Get through this.
We need a backlog of 6 cases.
You did bring up a good point. I do seem to remember that there were near riots at Bathurst. If you're not aware of what that is, the Bathurst 1000, it's a motor race here, very famous motor race. A bit like the, what's the NASCAR equivalent, Greeno? The
Daytona 500.
Yeah, it would be like that. Yeah, a bit like the Daytona 500. So that's kind of our version of it at Mount Panorama in a little town called Bathurst. And about 20 years ago, they brought in a rule that you're only allowed to bring in 1 case of beer per person per day, and they nearly fucking torched the place. They nearly burnt it down.
And when we say case, that is 24 beers.
24 full
bottles,
beers, yeah.
Full bottles of beer per person.
Per day.
Yeah. So you rock up, you bring 3 people that don't drink.
Yeah.
It's fine. They can bring a slab in each.
Yeah. Now, what happens though, right? Because the ingenuity of Australians never ceases to amaze me. What happens is, and I know this for a fact, people who have campsites booked for the race, because you book campsites and you take your little tent up or your camper van or whatever, and you book your site and you watch because it's like a 6.2 kilometer track. You watch it from a campsite, right? There's only 1 or 2 little stadium areas, but everyone else is basically just on the side of the road watching it.
Yeah.
So people go up during the year and bury cases of beer
in advance,
and then dig them up on race day so they can have more than 1 case per person per day.
Which sounds fucking ridiculous. If you scale it back, let's just be logical here, right?
Yeah.
like I'm like I can put them away, but I'm not a heavy. I wouldn't say like look at that dude. He's fucking just gutting beers, right?
Yeah.
I can put away 2 per hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Like and pretty comfortably. Like probably 3 in the first hour and then 2 every hour after that.
Mm.
And I'm still in a pretty good mood. I'm not fucking falling over drunk. I'm just going like, yeah, we're having a good day.
I can definitely, like, my cruising speed could easily be, 2 or 3 an hour. That's a canter. I'm not as young as I used to be, but if I was in the right mood, I could no problem polish off a beer every 5 to 10 minutes and do that for a few hours. Like I could get through most of a case in an afternoon, no problem, and still walk out of there fine.
And once again, we're just logic testing here. So Bathurst, the site opens at 6 a.m.
Yep, 6 a.m.
It closes at like 7 p.m.
Yep.
So we're talking a 13-hour day.
Yep.
2 drinks a day.
But they're in there all night. They're camping there. And
they're camping all night and you get a beers afterwards.
Yep.
You're only sleeping about 6 hours. So realistically, like it seems like that's a fucking lot of beer.
It's not
over the course
really.
of a day.
Yeah.
It's actually like two drinks per hour.
Yeah.
Over the course of a day. That's fuck all. We probably need 2 cases.
Yeah. I think what you need to do. I think what you need to do is if you want to most people I think get tanked up the night before the race.
Yeah.
And they tend to wake up because the race starts at 11 o'clock or something.
11 o'clock, but yeah, everything kind of kicks off.
So they tend to sleep in. Yeah, but they tend to sleep in on race day and kind of wake up hungover for the race.
Yeah.
They mostly party on the Saturday before. I think what you would need to do if you wanted to get blasted for the race, you'd need to take your 1 case in, but then like really take it easy. The other option is, of course, sneaking in vodka and bottles of Coke and stuff, which is
the worst. Yeah, we're not. You do that in bottles of water. Not Coke, but
well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in watermelons, Greenie. You inject the vodka in the watermelon, that old chestnut.
Right in. Yeah, exactly.
Got some comments in the chat, Greeno. $50 for a pack. That's insane. They're $20 here, and our dollar is pretty close to yours. Fucking crazy. That's Jim Enward. He's in Canada, by the way. Canada.
Well, I just looked up. PJ Blues, my old smoke.
Yeah.
40 pack, $80.
Wow.
$2. $2 per smoke. Dick. And I'd probably get through 40 a day.
That's
$80 a day.
Actually a lot worse than even what I thought.
Yeah, that's a lot.
$80 for a 40 pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, that's pretty much like half my wage. Half my wage per week is what I used to smoke.
So in US dollars, that would be about
double that.
50. No, it'd be about 50, 60 bucks.
About $50.
$50 for 40 cigarettes. Sinister Charlie's in the US. He said he remembers when Camel Blues, Camel had a flavored cigarette. He misses those. Weren't Camels like the non-filtered ones? Like they were really proper hardcore.
They're pretty good. But I do remember Camel because they used to have a chocolate flavored smoke.
Oh, they did too.
It was pretty good. You couldn't. It was hard to get in Australia.
Yeah.
But we had a bloke rock up to our year 12 formal, and we all had these big fat cigars. We decided, we're going to have cigars at the end of our fucking formal, and we're good. Yeah. And a bloke rocked up with like a 12 pack of chocolate cigars. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Because they were thin. And then he's like, no, just try them. And we had like a puff. I'm like, bro, we need more of these chocolate cigars. We were chocolate hunting after
Wasn't that the first chocolate they smoked cocoa leaves or something? Isn't that where they came up with the chocolate flavor?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then I remember, after that, Camel might have had a chocolate flavored cigarette that was sold in Australia for a very small period of time and only very small, like random tobacconists that would import it.
Yeah.
And when you found a pack, you're like, oh, yeah, load up on Camel.
Well, you couldn't do it now because you'd have, again, some cocksucker politician on television going, these chocolate cigarettes are convincing the children to take up smoking. Oh.
That and the kids can't afford it anyway because it's fucking $80 a pack.
The sweet irony of this is you're banning vapes to the point where people would have to go to the fucking doctor and sit there in front of a doctor and emasculate themselves and say, well, can you just not please give me the tobacco? Okay, have you tried, nicotine gum?
Yeah.
Have you tried this? Have you tried this? And it's like, I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want what I fucking want. Why are you in my way? Why are you preventing me? But the irony of this is cigarettes, still get them over the counter. They're still fine. So people who have got off cigarettes, like myself, thanks to like vaping, are now going to basically be forced back onto cigarettes if we want nicotine again. Because it's more than just the nicotine. It's like an oral fixation thing, right? It's like, it's the whole it's the whole process. It's the whole It's the whole ceremony of smoking. That's what you want, right?
It's I found
That's the thing that you
when I
can't
quit,
kick.
it was the habitual like hand time filler.
Hand to mouth, cup of coffee.
And it was just a time filler. It was
Yeah.
like, this is what I do. I just like, I got 5 minutes to kill. I go for smoke.
Yeah, if I need a break from work, because I'll work through lunch when I'm in the office, I'd rather take like 4 or 5 kind of quote unquote smoke breaks than have lunch.
Yeah.
So I deliberately work through, even though the people there who would complain about people going out for cigarettes are the same ones who take 1.5 hour lunch breaks and wander around the office scratching their ass talking to everyone most of the day. They're the ones who complain the most. But I think, you know what, it's fair. I'll skip my lunch break and I'll go out for my smoke breaks when I want one. And, you know, you can't fucking complain then, can you? So I'm not taking any time away. Like, just count that as my lunch break. I don't give a fuck.
All right. Here's a little, just a little bit of quick research, Damo.
Yeah.
We don't want kids to smoke. I just looked up the minimum wage for anyone 16-year-olds and under.
Okay.
$8.55 per hour. So for a kid,
We've got to
For a
work
kid,
10 hours
you
before
gotta work
tax.
10 hours before tax. So realistically, he's probably only getting, he's in fucking low tax range. So he's probably getting $7 an hour. He's got to work maybe 2 shifts to buy 1 pack of smoke.
1 pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. I don't think the kids are at risk. If they're gonna smoke, they're gonna find a way to smoke.
Yeah.
Because they're not paying for it because they're on $8.55 an hour.
Yeah.
That, to be fair, that is fucking nuts. Because I remember when I was that age, my minimum wage was $4.97 off the top of my head. It was there or that. It was something stupid like that. That has not gone up that much since I was 15.
No, definitely not.
Because I realized today, I'm now at if we're doing an egg timer, I'm now at the opposite end of the egg timer of when I started working to retirement age now.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So I've now passed the
There's
half.
less sand on top than there is at the
There's
bottom.
less sand on top and the bottom.
Yeah.
But to think that I've now worked half my life and the minimum wage has only gone up $4 an hour.
Yet the price of cigarettes has gone up $60 a packet.
8 times that.
Yeah. It's very true. It's a very good
The
point.
minimum wage hasn't gone up double, yet the price of cigarettes have gone up. I think I bought my first pack for about $7. So that's gone up like 12.
I remember the first pack I bought because I was 14 when I bought them because I was quite tall as a kid, so I didn't have to show ID or anything. I just walked in and said, "Yeah, give me a pack." And the packet that I bought the brand was called Freedom. It was a black pack and it had a red F on the front, and they cost me $5.30.
There you go. Because remember there was always a kid in school who would sell smokes.
Yes, singles.
A buck each. Yep. And you're like, this dude is fucking making so much money. Because he'd spend $5 for a whole pack, a 20 pack, 25 pack.
Yeah.
He'd walk away with $25 and you're like, this is fucking free money over here. This guy's
So he'll go out and buy 5 packs.
5 packs and probably sell them again.
Yeah.
But everyone felt like they'll get the good deal because you bought 1 smoke for $1. You're like, hey, that's only $1. It's all good.
Yeah.
Now, $1, you're losing $1 each time.
Yeah, you've got to charge $5 a ciggy to the
$5
kids.
per
If you're going to sell kids, if you're going to sell cigarettes to your schoolmates, you've got to at least double because there's a risk element involved, right? So you need to charge for the risk. So that's $2. $2 covers your cost, $1 for the risk, and $1 to reinvest, and that's basically.
Well, you got to reinvest, but the risk. I feel like the risk because let's say you're only 3 smokes into a pack of 40, and a teacher confiscates, you're suddenly in the hole a fair bit. I think you need to triple your risk money.
Yeah, so we need to be charging maybe $6 or $7 a smoke.
I'm saying $10 a smoke.
$10. So, okay, so that's good for the kid, the 15-year-old kid who works at Macca's. He only has to work an hour and a half now to get 1 cigarette, Greeno.
1 cigarette, that's right. And the kid, once again, that kid only has to sell 5 smokes out of the pack to reinvest at a gross profit.
Charlie says he hasn't been to an Indian reservation in a while, but those cigarettes are insanely cheap. But you have to get raped when you go there to get the cigarettes, so that's no good.
That's a counter argument.
It's a counter argument to doing that.
Yeah.
So giving up, cigarettes entirely. Going back to my original story, the worst thing that I can think about is I'll have to sit in the office for that whole time. I won't be able to get away from the computer and go stretch my legs and go outside and get some fresh air and enjoy a vape and just get away from it every couple of hours for 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You're just kind of strapped in there, It's like, oh God. Then maybe I'll end up being one of those fucking idiots who wanders around the office scratching their ass talking to people instead. I don't want to do that.
No, you don't do that. No, because once again, the cigarette smoking is the socializing element.
Yeah.
So I personally found when I quit, I spoke to people less because that's when I chat to people. I'd be out there having a smoke. Hey man, how you doing? I chat to the smokers.
Yeah. No.
But now that I'm out, I don't want to chat to people because I'm irritated. I'm like fucking. I work 4 straight hours.
I keep waiting for the smell of cigarettes to repulse me, like everyone says that it does. Them when they say, "Oh, I quit smoking now, and now I can't even stand the smell," and I still love it. Like I still walk past the smokers, and I'm like, "Oh, I could easily have one." Like,
you're only 4 months out. Look, I'm still. It depends on the day, right?
Yeah.
Some days I walk past and I'm like, man, that stinks. Why I smell like that for fucking a decade? That's full on. And then other times I walk past, I'm like, man, I could go for a smoke. It just depends on the day. Like some days it smells delicious, some days it smells repulsive. Like anyone who says, "Oh, you just instantly repulsive," they're a liar because everyone it's an addictive chemical.
Yeah.
And no matter how much you say you've quit for as long as till you had your next smoke. Yeah, that's how fucking long you've quit.
Yeah.
I've been like 12 years. So I've been all right, but don't get me wrong. All this smoke talk, I'm like, I can go for one now.
Yeah. Next time you're laying out a couple of tons of topsoil, you might want to kick back with a Winnie Blue Greeno.
Have a dart.
Yeah.
That's when I was in my thinnest, mate. That's when I was at thinnest.
Yeah,
admittedly, I was anorexic and fucking, looked like a heroin junkie without heroin.
Yeah.
But still looking fit.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. We haven't touched the rundown yet. Is there anything in there we want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the Dave Warner thing? Because you were like, what the fuck is this about?
Yeah, you can tell me about it because I didn't know what the fuck was going on with this. So
another thing. So Dave Warner, he's for our American listeners, Dave Warner's the Australian cricketer. Is he retired?
David Warner thing? Oh, we have to do this too, but I'm not sharing my screen with you, am I? Hang on 1 sec, mate. 1 sec, caller. We have to make sure we do this as well.
Oh, there you go. I was wondering why there was no stream. Like,
yeah.
It's all
you
good.
see it now?
Show anything. Yeah, no, I can see it.
Yeah, all right. So we have to make sure we touch on that too.
Yeah, we will.
Where's the David Warner thing? Fuck.
Oh, did I not send it through?
You did not send it through.
No, I sent it through this afternoon.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
It said, sorry, I forgot to attach the link.
That's fine. I'll deal with it live on the show.
My apologies.
Yeah.
No one's fucking listening. It doesn't really matter.
No, it's true.
Here we go. So David Warner is an Australian cricketer, very divisive cricketer. Now I'm kind of torn a little bit on the reflection of Davey, where very talented cricketer, performed for Australia for the better part. I think 2009 was his debut, so 14 years as an Australian player.
Sure.
But was part of a few different scandals. Part of whether it be punching the England captain at the time in a pub before an Ashes series.
Yep.
Whether it be the sandpaper cheating, throwing other people on the bus, and the way he reacted to it in the post, whether it be just the general publicity around him and the fact he thought he was media savvy, but everything he did that was media savvy kind of worked against him.
The fact that he's basically known in cricket as like the world's worst sledger, and I don't mean worst as in constantly sledging, I mean in terms of his sledges, that the remarks that he says are fucking dumb.
He's kind of a meathead.
Like he's not good at being witty, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that even though he was dominant and career wise had a 44 average, which is amazing for a test opener. That's world record. But the problem was when you look at the splits, it was like he was really great at home, but sucked everywhere else except for South Africa.
He was he dominated like around 15, 16, 17, 18, that kind of period, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once again, was like one of the best has played for Australia, to be fair.
He's not one of the greats.
He's probably top 3 openers ever.
No, I don't know. No, he's not better than Matty Hayden.
He's not better than Hayden. He's not better than Langer.
No. So that's 2 just in the last 30 years.
He's probably 3rd. Like,
I'd have to go back and look. I'd have to look.
He's probably 3rd. And he revolutionized the way openers kind of played a little bit. Like, his guys with a strike rate of 70, which is pretty impressive. But for some reason, people didn't like him, no matter what. And it was like, he did all these things. I'm like, so did Warney. Like Warney did more fucked
Well,
up things.
Warney, that was a point I was going to make.
Yeah.
Dave Warner's so-called scandals pale by comparison to Warney.
Comparison to Warney. 100%.
Fucking, half of England,
Yep, of England. The fact that they're like, oh no, he cheated the game. Hang on. Warney gave match fixing information to Indian bookmakers. Do we forget about that?
Yeah.
He drug cheated and got suspended right before a World Cup. And thankfully, it was a Brad Hogg that saved the day.
That's
and
right.
Came in as a spinner.
Yeah.
And had a really good World Cup.
Stuart McGill came in.
And was
to
the test
team.
Test saver. So he let his team down multiple times.
And ended up with a better average than Warney too, Stuart McGill.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got his own troubles. Talk about
He's got
scandals.
his own troubles, 100%. But so I was reflecting, going, this is so weird because Warney did way more fucked up shit than Warner ever did, but Warner's more hated. And I was like, even though Warney was a high flying guy, he always seemed like a man of the people, I guess.
Definitely.
Even though he really wasn't, because he was going around banging Liz Hurley and,
Well, that's a man of the people move. I mean,
that's a very man of the people move.
Take one for us, Warney.
Yeah. Going around, hanging out, hobnobbing with celebrities, etc.
Yeah.
But I was like, look, this whole, he's always had a bad PR. I've always felt Davey Warner. One, he's a meathead, but a good PR person could find a way to make sure that, hey, Davey, because he's from Housing Commission, New South Wales, he's come up from nothing, and it's amazing. And then he had this big kind of farewell tour, which, people.
That's what I don't. Look, honestly, that's the thing that I just thought it was so fucking cringe. The fact it was a farewell tour, and I thought, God, this is so fucking presumptuous, because he announced before, the last Ashes series, before the series before this one, that he wants his last game to be at the SCG against Pakistan or whatever. And I thought, God, that's presumptuous, because I thought I wouldn't pick you in the Ashes team right now the way he was playing at the time.
Not overseas, hell no.
No, I'm like, I wouldn't even have you now. But so it was like a PR move, and the cynical side of me says, well, and it was actually the lady Boogs who brought this up too, and she's like, it probably wasn't even him. And I'm like, what do you mean? He announced his retirement. She goes, it was probably someone from fucking Cricket Australia or something who said, you know what, we need to promote the shit out of this. Why don't we make it like a big farewell tour for Dave, and we'll sell more tickets, because otherwise no one's going to come to the SCG to watch fucking Pakistan
100%.
play.
Yeah.
We had to find something to make people show up. And that's probably why, by the end, I was like, oh my God, every day, I watched every day of that three-test series. Every
so brutal.
fucking day, the same kind of montage with David Warner, and
it was unlistenable.
Oh God! And by the time the end, I was praying for the end of the game just because I didn't want to fucking see David Warner clips anymore.
Yeah. I don't want another one.
You ruined him for me. Now, when he
Yeah,
first came in the team, I was one of his biggest backers. I was like, this guy's good.
It's great.
When all of these cocksuckers, now David Warner cocksuckers in the media are now lining up to say, he's the best thing since sliced bread. He's fucking amazing. He's a legend. They're saying that now. When he first got picked, I was one of the only people saying, yeah, give him a go. Fucking let's have a look at him, because they were all the ones saying he can only play 2020.
He's 2020. He's too aggressive.
He's too aggressive. He can't play test cricket.
We watched him in
fucking frauds, a lot of you.
We watched him in 2011 play a Shield game.
That's right.
In Bankstown.
I'm like, why isn't he in the team now? Get him in now.
I think he scored 150, and it was in 2.5 sessions.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And we were just watching, this guy's way too good to be playing Sheffield Shield cricket.
Exactly.
He's in the Australian team.
Yeah. It was like,
and if anyone doesn't believe us, I swear there's podcasts from 2012.
Yeah.
We're like, you got to pick this guy. He's too good.
Warner's got to be in. He's got to play,
Yeah.
And they were all the ones going, nah, he can't play. He's T20 only, one-day cricket specialist. That's all he'll ever be. He's not good enough for test cricket. And these are the same people now going, he's an absolute legend of the game. We need to watch the David Warner montage another half a dozen times before the lunch break. Oh, every ad break.
It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal.
So I was just glad that it was over by the end. It's like, thank God he's done. You don't have to look at this shit anymore. Thanks, Dave, but fucking sick of you, mate.
Well, we thought it was over, and then suddenly this week he finds a way to get himself in the news again, because heaven forbid, it's been a couple of days without any David Warner news. So he announced, he's like, I'm going to after I've retired, I'm going to go play Big Bash.
Yeah, okay, great.
For one game.
So he's coming back for one game, another
Oh,
farewell
one
game.
game.
This motherfucker is like the Rolling Stones of cricket, Greener. It's another farewell tour, isn't it?
But no, it's not about that. So, but the biggest controversy was the fact that he's like, but however, I've got my brother's wedding that day.
Right.
So I need to helicopter in from my brother's wedding to the field so I can make the game. Now, you want to try and get people on your side.
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong, Dave. You're really doing it. You want to be a man of the people. You want to go, hey, man, I'm just a boy from Marrickville from Housing Commission. No, you're not doing it right. You left your brother's wedding to play a one game of one game of BBL that no one fucking remembers. Yep. And to rock up for one game, and then that's it. You're done, dusted, and you're helicoptered in.
Here we go, Greener. Here is the live footage of David Warner arriving in a helicopter. Yes, they put a camera crew on it to make sure that the event was captured, Greener.
You think, this is set up by his publicity team?
This is fucking embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. I'd be so embarrassed if I was this person. Imagine, and let's pause for a moment.
Oh, we've got to see what about the interview, Greener, as he gets out of the helicopter? Look at this.
Is this Brayshaw?
Is it James Brayshaw? No, I don't think so.
Welcome,
I think it's Brayshaw.
How was that? Not many
No, that is...
Bluey. That's Greg Blewett.
That's Greg Blewett.
people get to fly in on a chopper, the SCG. How was it?
This is so set up.
It's fucking... There's no one in the crowd. Right? Obviously, the game's not for hours.
To see, Sydney from
If no one's... Okay, hear me out. If no one said anything, right?
Yeah.
And because this has all been leaked throughout the course of the week.
Yeah.
If no one said anything, because you're right, there's no one there. Yeah. He arrived a couple of hours before the game.
Yeah.
No one said anything and said, "Oh yeah, no, Davey, come in, but just don't mention it."
Yeah.
Just, if you can chop her in, it's all sweet. We're all good.
Yeah.
No one would have known because there's no one in the fucking crowd. But they've made a big thing out of it because we've got to make sure they had cameras there. They got an interview as he fucking flies. It's so whoever your publicity team is, Dave, you got to sack him because they're no good.
Reminds me of a story I heard once from. Used to be mates with this old fella. He's dead now. I used to smoke weed with him back in the day. He was much older than me, but we got on really well. Yeah. And the guy who lived across the road from him was a very, very, very rich business owner, an Italian fella. Right? And we were talking about things. We used to have obviously we were smoking weed at the time, so we'd have big conversations, about big concepts. And we were talking about, philosophies in business and all this kind of stuff. And he said to me, he's like, Damo, he was a pommy guy. He's like, Damo, that fellow who lives across the road there? And I'm like, yeah. And he said, look, mate, he's probably got, 20 million in the bank. He's got a Ferrari and an Aston Martin, and he's got all these cars. If there's a problem at the job site, which car do you reckon he shows up in? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know all the cars he has. And he goes, he shows up in a fucking Holden, a $40,000 piece of shit Holden Commodore.
100%.
Yeah, because why? Because you don't want, if there's a worker dispute at the yard, at the building site, you don't want to be showing up in your fucking Ferrari telling the people that you're not going to pay them more, right? Yeah, exactly. Right? Now, this whole story reminded me of that story. And it's like, okay, yeah, Davey, you're great and stuff, but are you really part of the team? Do you remember, was it Sourav Ganguly when he was the Indian cricket captain? Used to fly on his own private jet and the rest of the team would fly, or he would fly first class and the rest of the team would be in business class, shit like that. He would stay in a different hotel to the rest of the team. And remember, he was one of the most fucking hated captains that they ever had. Why do you think that is? No one played for him. Yeah. Why do you think that is?
He put himself in front of the team, 100%.
Exactly. Now, Dave, you know what? Enjoy your brother's wedding, mate.
Well, imagine this conversation. Imagine this conversation, right? A couple of quick points, if we can.
Yeah.
Firstly, this shows Dave's brother doesn't like him enough to have him in the bridal party.
I didn't even think of that.
That's a bit fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's got 1, 2 brothers, and his brother isn't in the bridal party. Because if you're in the bridal party, you got to stick around for speeches, Davey. You got to fucking dance. We got shit to do, man. You got to fuck off for a stupid BBL game.
He didn't even just fuck off for the game. I was thinking he's going to be dropped into the middle of the SCG during the game when it's his turn to bat. You know,
he's going to be wicket.
But he's showing up, 5 hours before the game starts.
Oh, that's cool. He's had plenty of time.
He was there for the I-do's, and he's like, all right, guys, got to go. Got a helicopter to catch. I'll see you later.
100%. He rocked up for the boring bit, didn't stick around for the piss.
Sorry, guys, I'd stay longer if I could, but I need to get into the SCG dressing room and get pats on the back and talk about cricket for the next 3 hours before the game.
Exactly.
Sorry, guys.
Now, imagine this is your brother, all right? It's your wedding day. It's your fucking big day. It's your special day. And this is what your brother's doing. He's getting interviewed by Greg Blewett, hopping out of a chopper.
Yeah.
Like, you're still doing wedding photos right now.
Yeah.
You haven't even had your entree at the reception. But this is what your brother's doing to upstage you at your own fucking wedding.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Just fucking enjoy your brother's day, Dave. No. Fuck me. Can your brother's day not be about you? This is getting brought up at next year's Christmas dinner. I guarantee it. Hey, Davey, do you remember when you fucked off from my wedding after the ceremony?
Oh my God, Greeno, it gets even better. Look at this. So this is Sky News. Okay, this is like our equivalent of Fox News. Now, this is the e-commerce coach and entrepreneur show on Agenda Afternoon with Kelly Slessor, Greeno. They interrupt the story of AI dominates consumer electronics show to bring you a live crossing to David Warner. I swear to God, we're going to cross live now to David Warner getting out of a helicopter. Have a look at this.
We're taking you live now to Sydney, where retired Australian Test opener David Warner is landing at the SCG for the season.
Oh my God! Breaking news! Warner arriving.
Quick nice Gary to our friend Dan Liebke on Twitter.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Dan Liebke, currently not watching the BBL, wants to know, has the maid of honour made her speech yet?
Nice, Gary!
Fantastic. Oh, my God.
What a selfish cunt. And don't get me wrong, Warney would have done the exact same thing.
No, I don't know. I think this is beyond Warney. Honestly, I think Warney had enough self-consciousness to go, I can't. I think Warney, I don't think this is Warney's style. Honestly, I don't. I think Warney's the kind of guy who he might show up in the back of a limo or something, don't get me wrong. But I don't think he's making special entrances with choppers and stuff. I don't think that's Warney's
Warney
style
had a helicopter
whatsoever.
available, Warney definitely would have been in there.
No, I think the thing with Warney, though, is he was a big team guy. So he was always on the team bus. He was always with the rest of the team. He was team. And if the rest of the team was driving into the stadium, he would have been fucking driving in. He wouldn't be taking special transport. No, I don't think that this is Warney's style.
No, I agree with you. You make a fair point there.
Yeah. This is something different entirely.
Warney was selfish, but he was about the same.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know what the fuck this is,
Sydney
but
smash series
it's Warner being Warner.
Warner, Sydney Thunder and Arch crosstown rivals in the
did you hear Warner Sydney Thunder?
He's played one game in the last 10 years.
At this point, he hadn't played a game yet for the Thunder this year. Okay.
Yeah.
This is his first game, and all of a sudden now it's his team because he arrived in a fucking helicopter.
Warner, Sydney Thunder and Arch crosstown rivals.
Well, now I'm intrigued. When was the last time Dave Warner played for Sydney Thunder?
What time? What year?
I'm
going to go 2015.
Was attending his brother's wedding, being held in the Hunter Valley. Just getting a close
so he
up
went from the
there,
Hunter Valley.
Has, in fact,
That's a 2-hour drive. That's a 2-hour drive.
Your priorities are wrong, man. T20 or winery tour. Fucking, bro. Him. I can't find when Warner last played because everything's about this stupid helicopter arrival.
Oh, yeah.
And the coverage of the Sydney Smash is going to be on Fox Cricket at 6:45.
And once again, who cares?
Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
You're doing it wrong here, Davey. Get a better publicist. Don't give your wife going to bat for you in the media. It's all no good.
Fucking fantastic stuff. There you go.
What else have we got in the rundown? Oh, if we're talking cricket, there's a couple of dumb comments that have popped up in the cricket over the course of the week. Now, this one's from fucking... So, Davey's now gone. So now we're going to find a new opener. Now, logically, you just go to Sheffield. You just go to Sheffield Shield. And you're like, well, fucking, who's had the best last couple of years? Cameron Bancroft, welcome back, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Australian cricket's fucking a little bit cooked again. And look, it's been nice because when was the last time we were like annoyed about a selection? It's been a while. We've had a good run.
Yeah, not annoyed. Like there might have been some niggling things here and there.
but not like the old days. We
Not
were
like
what
the old
fuck?
days. No. When
What the
Merv
fuck?
was,
Like early
when
days
Merv
of
was
our
running the show. you know.
Yeah, it was fucking what's his name?
Junior?
No, Junior. Yeah, Junior was part of the problem.
Yeah.
Also Trevor Holmes.
Trevor
When he was the
Holmes.
chief selector.
Yeah.
That was all over the shop. No good. When we're like, what do we do to get some of these fucking run scorers when Kadich couldn't get picked?
That's right. Yep.
Like, what the fuck? The Kadich is scoring 700 runs every single game. They've decided, they made the announcement, we're just going to move Steve Smith up to opener. Steve Smith has never opened in his life. Just so they can bring Cameron Green back in. And the question was like, well, why would you do that? Like, we feel we've picked the best 6 batsmen in Australia right now, and we're just finding a way to put him in. Fair enough. And look, I don't mind that as much because Steve Smith coming in at 2 for 4 like he did the other day is no different to him being an opener. So that's one side. If we're saying the best 6 batsmen in Australia include a dude who averages like 25 with the bat in tests, that's a bit fucking weird. Like, there's a reason we dropped Cam Green, for Mitch Marsh, because he wasn't really performing, but we're bringing him back in.
Yeah.
Like, Cameron Bancroft's gone back to Shield cricket, worked on his deficiencies.
Dominated the last couple of years, hasn't he?
And has averaged 60 for the last 2 years.
Yep.
Like, I didn't like what happened with fucking South Africa, and that it wasn't he was the scapegoat. It wasn't his fault. But he sucked as a cricketer. They brought him back in after that to go, oh yeah, here you go, like here's your another chance. Well, they knew he wasn't the right person, then they dropped him again. Now he deserves to be picked, they're not picking him. Insane. Here's what Michael Clark had to say though, about Steve Smith coming in as opener. So if he opens the batting, he'll be the best opener within 12 months. And don't be surprised if he breaks Brian Lara's 400 because he's that good and now he's got all day to bat. Pup, did you fucking watch any cricket over the last 5 years? He comes in 2 wickets down and didn't score 400. He's had all day to bat plenty of times over the last 4 years. This is the dumbest comment of the week, or so I thought. You thought? What are your thoughts on Smitty coming in to open?
I tell you, because I was like, when you sent this through, I don't agree it's the dumbest comment of the week. I don't.
This comment, like, he can score 400 as an opener because he get bats all day. That's a dumb comment.
Any opener can score 400 if they're good enough.
No one has.
If they're good enough.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Smith, I mean, maybe it might have been more likely, say, the Smith of, say, 2019. That might have been more appropriate, I think. I think Smith now is not as good as he was, say, 3-4 years ago.
Smith is at the point of his career where his average is the same as Ricky Ponting's.
Yes.
At the exact same point of innings in his career.
Yeah, and it starts.
What happened after that?
It starts to come down.
Yes, starts to dip. That's just what happens to cricketers. That's why Don Bradman is the greatest athlete in the history of all sport. Hear me out. No one has ever been 40% better at anything they've done, ever in sport.
Yeah.
Like, the best is normally like 10% better than the next best.
True, yeah.
The Don is 40% better than the next greatest in the last 100 years.
People have been playing this game for 140 years, and Don Bradman, who played in the, what did he play, the 30s, the 40s?
Early 1900s.
He's quite literally basically twice as good as the next best person at it.
Yeah, we're talking a
with
current
old equipment and old conditions and old rules when it was much harder.
Pitches.
Yeah, it's much more difficult than it is now. And
no roads. It was good luck.
Uncovered pitches and all the rest.
No
of it.
helmets.
No helmets. It was basically a suicide game then. And he's basically twice as good as anyone else who's ever played before or after him. So it is pretty wild. So I'm not convinced that it's a dumb idea though. Honestly,
I'm not saying the idea. I'm not saying the idea is dumb. I'm saying Pup's comment is the dumbest.
Okay. Well, okay.
No, I'm going to class him opening because, like I said, he comes in at 2 for 4 all the time. What I'm saying is that he can, if he bats all day, he can score 400. No, he come in at 2 for 4 plenty of times.
Enough.
That's a fucking dumb comment.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I'll give you that. But just on him opening, I think someone told me a pretty interesting stat the other day, and it was something like someone did the numbers and found out that when he comes in, after 2 quick wickets, he scores, his average is like 80 or something.
58. Nah, it's like 58.
But when he comes in after like a good opening stand, like when the runs are already on the board, his average is actually much lower.
Yeah, because like he's the kind of guy that when you need him to score runs, he
Backs
scores.
against the wall.
Yeah.
So Jared Waitley, who I think you know, Greeno, he's a good commentator. He does mostly AFL, a lot of cricket.
Yeah.
So I heard him during the week as well. And here's a couple of quotes. He said, quote, Marsh had been floated early and Head's already done it. Labuschagne was the most nimble solution. There was a school of thought that Carey should. Smith was never part of that public. He's just reporting on what was kind of being spoken about.
That's the problem. People are speaking and just fucking making shit up.
Well, hang on.
Alex Carey as an opener? Fucking get out of here.
Some people might have thought that.
That's the problem. Some people.
Well,
Which
he's
people?
gritty.
Fucking morons.
He's gritty. He doesn't give his wicket away.
He's never opened in fucking Sheffield Shield. Why the
Right.
fuck would he be test opener? Anyway,
Yeah, no.
my problem with reporting.
Smith,
People are saying, what people? Morons.
He goes on to say, Smith was never part of that conversation publicly, and then it turns out that's what's been going on privately. Once he's told the selectors and the coach behind closed doors that not only is he willing to do it, but he would really like to open, I feel like that's the solution. So this is what people are saying, that, you know, Smith is actually open to the idea of opening. Like, he'd be like, no, I want to have a crack.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised. If that's true, I was surprised to hear that. But if they're not going to pick Bancroft, if Bancroft is just blacklisted now forever, which he may well be,
Well, they've already not picked him. The squad's been announced.
Yeah, so I think that's really unfair. He should have been picked. He deserves it. Then, you know, I heard Waitley also said something like, was it Harris that got picked, Greeno? Marcus Harris?
No, he didn't get picked.
Renshaw, right. Okay, that's interesting.
So there was a side-by-side of like test averages and first-class averages, and Harris, Renshaw, and Bancroft were pretty much all identical.
Yeah, they're all in like the 30s.
Yeah, it was like 38s, and 38s in first class, and then in test like 32.
Yeah.
But the difference being Bancroft over the last 2 years has had a better
so
average
much
than
better.
the rest. So.
Yeah, he's in the prime of his career, and they're going to ignore him. Which is that's something, you know, you said, when was the last time we were pissed off about a selection? That I'm probably kind of pissed off about that. Now, if Renshaw ends up opening, okay, fair enough, but he won't. They'll play him at like 6 or something.
No, they're not going to play him at all. They're saying Cam Green's coming in, so Smith's going to open.
Yep.
Everyone's moving up a spot, and Cam Green's coming in at 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Cam Green's coming in at 4 now. Sorry, so he's replacing Smith at 4.
I think it's really interesting. I'm really interested to see how he goes, because if he makes a go of this might add another fucking couple of years onto his career.
If you tell Cam Green, you don't have to bowl, Mitch Masters our rounder, and just focus on batting, then it makes sense. But if you're going to ask Cam Green to be an all-rounder and bat 4, then it doesn't. Because Cam Green, we've seen him when he was a young kid. He scored double hundreds and fucking was an absolute weapon. And he came in the test squad and then didn't really know kind of what his thing. He came in at 6.
Well, doesn't he comes in at 3 or 4. Yeah,
he bats at 4 for WA.
Yeah.
But he hasn't played for WA in Sheffield Shield in 3 years because he's been in the test squad.
Yeah.
So, realistically, if they sell him, look, just focus on your batting, Cam. Like when Mitch retires, then maybe we'll push you back to an all-rounder.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But if they're asking him to be an all-rounder and bat 4 with how he's performed over the last couple of years and he's been dropped because of his performance, then it makes no sense.
I'm just really interested to see, because I feel like this could be the thing that kickstart. It could be. I'm not saying it will.
I hope so.
Because Smith's been in a bit of a rut for like a year or two, a little bit. And this is the thing. Smith is so good. Yeah,
he still has a test average of 58.
Yeah, well,
he's been in a rut. His average has dropped from 61 to 58.
He has an average of 58 now because he was scoring so many runs before. But if you look at his average over the last couple of years, it's probably in the 30s or thereabouts, and that's how good he is. Even when he plays poorly, he still averages more than the next best guy who might come in.
I don't think it is. I think he still averages almost 50 in the last couple of years.
It wouldn't be. No, I don't think so. I think he'd be averaging maybe in the mid to high 30s for the last year or two.
No, definitely not.
With an odd score here and there.
He's had sneaky, like he hasn't scored big runs, but he always scores runs.
No.
So I think,
No.
like, if you think about it, Smitty always scores like 48. You're like, oh, that's
doesn't
disappointing.
always.
Smith,
No, he doesn't
'cause
always. No, he
we're
doesn't.
so used to him scoring big tons.
Yeah, look, but he's still good enough to be in the team, even though he's playing poorly. That's how good he is. As a
I don't think he's
baseline.
playing poorly.
He's definitely playing poorly.
I think no, he's playing poorer than he used to.
By his standards, he's poor.
By his standards. I'm gonna look up stats per average the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, he can only really judge himself by his own standards. So, like I said, he still deserves a place in the team because even though he's playing poorly by his standards, he's still good enough to be in there. But him opening the batting, like just that change of scenery, hear me out. That might be because you know the kind of character he is. He does want to bat all day. He's a nervous watcher of the game, right? He hates sitting in the stands watching. He's constantly moving. He doesn't sleep during a game. Hang on, hear me out. He taps his foot. He paces back and forward. He nervously watches the game. He hates sitting there watching it, right? Maybe getting him out there first thing on the first morning, maybe this might just be the thing that it might reset his brain and he might just go back to just batting. And you never know, he might fucking stay out there all day if he's given that opportunity. Instead of, having to calculate how he should play according to how the wickets have gone and should he go hard or should he consolidate, and you know what I mean? Like it's a totally different. He has a clean slate every innings now to bat exactly how he wants to. So this might be the thing that kind of snaps him out of it. I think I'm genuinely interested to see how he goes opening the batting, and I hope he does really well. Because I feel like his demeanour and everything, he's probably very well suited to being an opening batsman.
Oh, honestly. No, he'll be fine as an opener. I got no qualms with that. Do you want to know what his average is over his poor period of the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Huh? 50.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that statistic. I'd have to.
Well, I just fucking looked it up. He averaged in 2022. He averaged 58.4. In 2023, he averaged 42.22. In test matches. This is test matches.
Really?
So in between that, it's fucking 50.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's averaged 50 over the last 2 years.
Well, I would still say he's not playing as like his best.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
He's not playing as good as he used to. What I'm saying is everyone's so harsh on him because he was so good before that we're like, oh, what? Okay, let me go through his averages since 2011.
Yeah.
72, 37, 81, 73, 71, 77, 32, 74, wild. 18. Then we go 53, and then the last 2 years, 58 and 42.
So he's just been grinding out numbers.
Even though he hasn't scored big tons, so let's have a look here, and this is my point, right?
He hasn't been scoring as freely either. He's just kind of grinding out.
He's always been a grinder. His strike rate is consistent throughout his career. So hundreds, 5, 6, 4, 6, 3, and then we get into like COVID era. Yeah. So he still scored 200 in 2022, and his worst year is 2023. He still scored 300s.
Yeah, right.
So that's consistent with what he was doing in 2019 when he averaged 56.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's genuinely surprising.
It just seems, I'm surprised by it too. Actually, I thought it was going to be a bit lower, but I thought he averaged about 30 last year. But every time I think about it, I'm like, Smitty just kept on grinding out 50s. Yeah. But we never saw him make that defining ton.
But they were like battling 50s. They were uncomfortable 50s.
But not really. His strike rate last year was 46. The year before was 50.
Yeah. Okay.
He has a general strike rate around 50. It was a little bit down. It was 4% down last year.
Yeah, right.
But he that's what he does. He just grinds out innings. You remember, he always starts slow. That first 10 runs normally takes him about 60 balls.
Yeah.
And then after that, he starts to get in and feel his hands. So, I'm surprised by he scored more tons last year than he did the year before. Yeah. But it felt like he was something, but every time I think about it, I'm like, no, man, he was always scoring 40s, 50s, even in his bad innings. So.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, no, that's genuinely surprising because I've heard him talk himself about how he's not
he's his own harshest critic.
He really is. Yeah.
Anyone would be happy to average 46 for a year, but that's a bad year for him.
Not Smithy. Yeah. No. So
42 for the year. My bad.
Yeah. Long story short, him opening the batting, I think that might just be the cudgel that
something to keep him fresh. Yeah,
snaps him out of it, and whatever he's in, a rut for him, like you said, like I said, a rut for him is still good enough to be in the team because it's better than anyone else who could potentially else, anyone who's not in the team could open. He's still got better stats, and he would
He
say that
does,
he's not playing well. You know,
And,
so,
and look, if we're talking opener for opener, different story. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is Cam Green worthy to get back into the team ahead of Bancroft? Probably not.
no, well, I think Cam Green's worthy to be in the team, I do.
But he's got to be an all-rounder, right? And Mitch Marsh, you can't not drop Mitch Marsh.
You can't drop Mitch Marsh at the moment.
No, he's almost
I'd even though Cam Green is not suited well to batting at like number 6, because he's not a guy who can come in and start hitting right away like Mitch Marsh is. Cam Green is someone who like needs to occupy the crease for a while, I think.
You know what? This is almost borderline storybook, right? So Cam Green batting averages 33 in tests.
Yeah.
That's the same as the average of Cameron Bancroft,
Yeah.
Matt Renshaw,
Yeah.
and Marcus Harris.
And he's young. That's the thing.
And he's young and he's an all-rounder.
He's got 10 years up his sleeve at minimum.
And he's been batting 6 coming in normally when like
Struggling.
you have to score quick runs.
Yeah.
No, normally when they score quick runs. Like, oh yeah, just fucking throw your bat around, Cam.
Oh, no, it's one or the other coming in at number 6.
It's one or the other, yeah. But
so there were a lot of innings there. I remember in that Ashes tour where he would come in and, at number 6, not the last one in England, I don't think, but the one before.
Average of first class average of 46, Cam Green.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes sense. Like
You're actually putting him in the position that he's most comfortable in to give him the best
put him in
opportunity
at
to
4,
score
let
the
him
most
bat.
runs that he can.
The guy scored 900s at first class level.
Yeah,
has an
he's
average of 46.
pretty good.
Got thrown into the test team really young.
To
The guy's
bat number
only,
6 as an all-rounder.
How old is he? He's 20,
23?
He's 24, man.
Yeah.
Fuck,
He's a puppy in cricket terms.
fuck, man.
Like his
Maybe I'm
best
wrong here.
years, cricketers tend to have their best years around 30.
30.
Yeah.
He's got a first class average of 46.
Yeah, he's already good.
Oh, yeah.
So put him up to number 4 because you can't put him at number 6 because he's not a
And
hitter.
don't make him bowl.
He's
Let
a
Mitch
big
Marsh
guy.
bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, let him. I'd give him a couple of overs, like as a partnership
much.
breaker or something.
Yeah. Like just give Starkey a break or whatever.
It's a good option to have because
Oh,
you've
no,
basically
I fucking-
now got
we've turned ourselves-
you've got 2 all-rounders in the team now, basically.
100%.
So
well, 3 with
that's
Travis
it.
Head.
Yeah. Sorry, Rob.
I've turned myself around in the space of one conversation. I'm like, okay, now I'm fucking. Why would I ever doubt
You're
George?
down with the program now.
I'm down with the program now. Why'd I ever doubt George Bailey?
So-
I felt like I needed some outrage because I'm like, I need to be outraged about selection.
See, it actually makes sense. Smith has
see why.
said that he wants to open the batting, okay? And he's the best batsman we have in the team for the last 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
He could probably do it. So, okay. So that solves the opener problem, but now we've got to fill the number 4 spot. Now, the
And
three
George
other
Bailey's
options,
argument was-
the 3 other options we have were 3 openers that were going to come in, Bancroft and Renshaw and Harris. Well, none of them can play number 4. It's either open or nothing for them. So
Renshaw's played middle of the order, but
he's no good at it.
if you've got those options,
Yeah,
Cam Green actually has a better first class average than all.
he does. Yeah.
And he's fucking 5 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, okay. Well, yeah, because George Bailey's argument was, we feel like we've picked the best 6 batters in Australia
Yeah.
to be our top 6
Yeah.
with Khawaja, Smith, Labuschagne, Green, Head, and Marsh.
Yeah.
And I fucking, okay, like, I know Bancroft had a great 2 years.
I can't disagree.
It makes sense. Like, let's just give
I
Cam
think
Green a chance. He's
right
24
now,
years age.
Right now, Cam Bancroft is the best opener in state cricket. That's what he is.
He is, yeah.
That's not to say that he couldn't do the job well. I think he really could open for the
I think
Australian
next year-
team
I
and
think-
do really well.
I think Aussie's going to retire next year,
He
and then
could.
Cam Bancroft will come in.
Yeah, because what's he now? 36,
37, I think.
37. So
Same age
he's-
as Davey.
Yeah, so he's winding up.
Mhm.
He's definitely winding up. So, yeah, then there's going to be another opening. But at that time, Bancroft will be 33 years old.
32.
32.
But that's when we picked Mike Hussey, and he played fucking 5 years and just dominated.
That's right. And, we have a good
And
history.
Kadich came back at 33 and played 4
Chris
years and
Rogers,
dominated.
Chris Rogers,
Chris Rogers
made his
came in.
at 35, wasn't it? When he
Ed,
made
Ed
his
Cowan
debut?
came,
Was it 35?
not debut, but he came back into the team and dominated at 34.
34, 35,
Ed Cowan came in at 33.
Yep.
So, look, it's not a concern. It
It's
makes
not
sense.
out of the realm of possibility.
It also makes sense from like the overall standpoint of the team. We fielded the oldest team ever for Australia, I believe, in the last test.
Yep.
Like we need some young blood.
Yeah.
Like it's good that we're picking the players that are in form, no matter what their age.
Mhm.
But we need to fucking get Cam Green test ready.
I've
turned around on it.
I think that they're still holding out hope that 12 months from now,
Koski will be back.
Koski will be back.
Yeah, he's averaging 36 in Shield at the moment, but he's only been back for like a couple of months.
Yeah, and he just has to not get concussed. That's
Not get concussed and take care of himself.
Yeah, so he gets the rest of this season under his belt and as a way back. Then next Sheffield Shield season, Uzi will still be playing, and if he averages say 40 up next season, he'll be in.
Yeah,
they'll pick him because he's the same age as Green, isn't he? Like they're around the same age, I think. He might be a year or two younger.
No, I think he might be a year older.
Older?
I think because he's like 25. Yeah.
Yep. But he was supposed to be like the next one in the team at like 18. They were talking about him.
Yeah. Well, he had a fucking first class average of 50.
Yeah.
25 Warpikowski. Yeah.
25. So 7 years ago, he was going to be the wonder kid who was going to come in, and then just a horrific run of injuries stopped him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he kept on getting concussed. Yeah, first class average down to 43, but he was averaging 60 when he was originally picked. But in 34 matches, already has 600s and 950s.
Yeah, so he goes all right when he's playing, when he's not injured. So I suspect that there might be an element of it was now or never for Bancroft. So. Sadly, I don't. Look, he did get another chance after the sandpaper gate. He did.
Yeah, but he had fucking like technical deficiencies, and they shouldn't have picked him.
Yes,
they picked him in the team when he shouldn't have been picked.
Shattered his confidence, and then
they're like, "Oh yeah, you
go back and work on your game," and he did. And now they're like, "Yeah, no,
well,
we're not going to pick you. We're going to put someone else. We're going to put Smith up instead."
Exactly. Yeah, like we know he fucked you over, we'll pick you again, but then they fucked him over by picking him again.
Yeah,
I feel for the guy.
Fun
little update.
Yeah.
It might be David Warner's farewell match, but it's also Steve O'Keefe's farewell match in this T20.
Yeah.
He just got David Warner, and it looks like the Sixers might fucking blow up the Thunder Warner farewell party.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
They need like 60 runs off about 20 balls, something like that.
Oh yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah.
Socky fucking kicking some ass out
Steve
there.
O'Keefe, Australia's greatest ever spinner. There you go.
So I'm glad Davey came in. He scored 37 off 38 in a T20. Glad you flew in, Dave.
Yeah, it was well worth it.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
Enjoy your loss.
Who got dropped for that, by the way?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Glad you missed your brother's wedding.
Yeah. And is he going to fly out again for the rest of the reception, or
back to the nutbush?
Yeah. Well done. All right. Let's wrap it up. Yeah.
We should wrap it up.
It's been a hell of a show. So, okay, next week, but then not the week after.
No, we'll be back the week after.
No, that's Australia Day. We had this discussion already.
I know, but that was a joke. We're back. What the fuck are you doing anything Australia Day? You going to put your bintang singlet on?
Yeah, bintang. Cook some lamb, mate.
Cook some lamb. Yeah, I'm going to do lamb as well.
Lamb on the barbie. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I did last year, little lamb and gravy roll. So good.
Yeah, no, fuck yeah. I'll definitely cook some lamb. I don't know why. I guess I've just been convinced by advertising.
Advertising has monopolized. Well, I used to do sausages.
Sam Kekovich told me to,
100%.
so I have to.
I used to do sausages for lunch, and then suddenly it was all this lamb fucking propaganda. I'm like, oh.
Have they done a lamb ad yet this year?
Yeah. They did this fucking really weird one. Where they were talking
we've got
about
to play it. We've got to have a look.
How lamb is like generational and shit. It was kind of panned. Yeah.
Okay. Australia. They're all panned.
Yeah, like lamb generations, I think it was.
Okay.
It was trending the other
5 days ago. All right, let's have a look.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're from another country, this will be very strange to you. So every year, the Lamb Council or whatever the fuck they are, the Lamb Board, the people that want you to buy more lamb to eat, they put an ad out for Australia Day, basically saying, eat lamb on Australia Day. It's the very Australia Day thing to do. And every year they make like weird ads. I remember one of my favorite ones was a couple of years ago with that chick from SBS where it was like the military and they were going around like extracting Australians from other parts of the world, like Australian celebrities to bring them home so they could have lamb on Australia Day. Do you remember that one? So
It's a good ad.
They do
a
very
good ad.
cheesy.
Once again,
Yeah.
it works because last year I'd said, "No, I'm going to cook some lamb on Australia Day."
Fucking oath. Yeah, they've definitely made it their own. They're like, you know what? No meat company, no meat brand has. It's not even a brand. It's an industry.
Yeah.
This is an industry commercial by the Lamb Council or something. So every year they put out a very cheesy ad that everybody pans, but then everybody secretly looks forward to as well because it's so cheesy and dumb. So I haven't seen this year's ad yet. So let's have a look.
I'm going to let you enjoy it, and then the back end we'll chat about it.
All right, cool.
Good morning, Burmatown. It's a beautiful day to be 60 to 78 years young. Here's another golden oldie.
Your phone charge is on. Your phone charge is on.
Have a house.
Lovely.
Your phone torch is on.
Oh, careful, Seymour. Watch out for the generation gap. I wonder how they're going over there.
Yeah, bloody Gen Zs.
Just remember, we're the ones that invented your precious World Wide Web.
Seymour! Oh, classic boomers, making the gap bigger. They'd understand if they just listened to us.
Yeah, season 1 was better.
Hey, do you think all this screen time is adversely affecting our social skills?
Well, it could be worse. We could be in our early 30s.
Hey, millennials are still cool, right?
So not slay.
Are we saying slay now? Slay. Slay.
It's pretty fun.
Slay.
I just feel like no one pays attention to Gen X. We've got so much to...
I don't care what they do, just not in my backyard. Hey, my backyard! This is their fault.
Don't look at us. We're literally perfect.
Typical young people. Everyone gets a trophy.
We were kids. You bought us the trophy.
Stop gaslighting us.
That's not what that means. Cancel. Cancel.
Is that lamb?
Lamb. You know, when I was a kid, we'd have lamb everywhere.
Lamb barbecue.
They keep cutting him off. That's pretty funny.
Well, at least we can agree on something. The generation gap. It's closing.
The lamb's getting closer.
I'm addicted to my phone as well.
Takeaway coffees could be hotter.
It's okay you spent $368 billion on submarines.
It was an impulse buy.
Being a young person in Australia must be difficult.
Being an old person must be pretty tricky too. Probably.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's a barbecue for the ages.
There's Big Sam Kekovich.
Sam Kekovich. He gets one job a year.
That's it.
Who's that?
Good to have the country back together.
We weren't ever that far apart, sweetheart.
Over lamb.
Share the
That's
lamb.
That's a good ad.
Oh, wow. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Thoughts. Wait, Back to the Future 4?
I think it's a parody.
Really? Tom Holland, Back
Yeah.
to the Future 4? 5.1 million. It's a parody, is it?
I think it's a parody, yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I think I got suckered into that recently. Then again, you never know. Everything's getting remade. Like there's making a Beverly Hills Cop 4. So
Yeah, right.
it could be, but I swear there's a parody of Back to the Future 4.
Now, see, that's not as good. Okay, before we comment on that lamb ad, let me show you this one.
I'm not
It's
saying
just-
it's the best lamb ad. I'm just saying like they do it well. They make it into a big event.
Yeah, it is a big event. But let's just compare that. So this is the lamb ad from 2017 that's just popped up in my little thumbnails here, Greeno. So let's compare it with the lamb ad from 2017. And you have a look out there too, audience, because Jim's like, Sinister Charlie said, I wish I could get this excited about lamb. Jim said this is so cheesy. Oh, it's very cheesy. But have a look at this one from 2017.
Jesus, where's your dad?
He's
I think we
everywhere.
played this on the show too.
I think we did. I think we did.
I'm like, I've seen this ad. I swear we played it on the show.
Jesus, where's your dad?
He's everywhere.
Just joking. He's working.
Can you get that? Thanks, Zeus.
God, I love this lamb.
You're welcome.
Well, that's a relief.
No,
It's
we
a
played it
nightmare
last
catering
year
for
for
you
some
lot with
reason.
all your dietary requirements.
Oh, no, not for me. Designated driver.
See that? Reverse miracle.
I think that's yours, Aphrodite. How do I get that thing for myself?
Moses, can you pass those down?
So, should we address the elephant in the room?
Not funny 2,500 years ago. Not funny now.
What is this music?
It's his playlist.
Oi, Christian rock.
This one's about me.
They're all about you. I don't understand why people take photographs of food.
You know she probably has more followers than anyone at this table.
Really? You're famous. Have you ever thought about Scientology? If you could just open your mind.
Ron, let's not get into religion at the table.
I gave up dinner with Tom Cruise for this.
Yeah. Sure. I'll see you next time.
Who's that?
Mohammed.
Can't make an appearance.
Daycare pickup.
That is a shame.
Oh, I got a match.
That's actually a really sly. Now I remember that of all of this, I remember that was the biggest outrage, that one line about Muhammad.
Yeah.
Because if you're not familiar, apparently it's sacrilegious in Islam. You can't show Muhammad, like you can't draw pictures of him or anything, right?
Yeah.
So there's like, where's Muhammad? No show, no appearance. It's like daycare run, you know.
Good joke.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Oh, I got a match. What does eggplant mean?
I don't mean to be rude, but what religion are you?
Oh, I'm no religion, which is the fastest growing religion in Australia based on recently published census data.
Ugh.
We really need a better marketing team.
I knew we shouldn't have spent all that money on pamphlets.
What should we toast to?
To science.
L'chaim.
What about just lamb? The meat we can all eat.
We really should get together more often.
It would make the galaxy a better place.
Yeah, that is a good one. That's nice, Gary. That.
Definitely not scary.
That's a subtle one. That's a low key one. But yeah, let's offend everyone at the same time. Fuck them. Yeah.
Everyone wins.
So yeah, they have changed the lamb ads, but yeah, no, the last one wasn't bad. Pardon me, but definitely very cheesy. I enjoyed it still. The fact that they were cutting off the Gen X guy every time he spoke, that was fucking funny.
So like I said, they make a thing of it, and they only literally play this ad for like 1 month.
Yeah.
So they kind of like throw their whole budget at it. That's why it went for 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And make like a little mini film going, look, we're only flogging lamb once a year.
That's it. We're pouring all of our heart and soul into this one time of year around Australia Day.
I tell you the reason it doesn't work as well, because lamb is so fucking expensive for some reason in Australia.
It really
There's
is.
like, well, we can only afford it. We can only afford it once a year. It's all good.
Yeah.
A lamb leg costs like $60.
Yeah.
You can almost buy a pack of smokes for that.
Nice, Gary!
Maybe you've just fixed it for the tobacco company. Hey, everyone, Australia Day, get a pack of Marlboros.
That's it, get some winning blues.
Fuck the lamb. Have a Winfield. You'll lose weight instead.
That's it.
Oh, sensational. On that note, Greeno, let's get the fuck out of here, shall we?
We'll get out of here.
All right. See you next time.
See you guys next week.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell